Welcome to Sooner Nation, Memorial Stadium on the campus of the University of Oklahoma, where tonight the #1 team in the nation, the Oklahoma Sooners, open up their season against the high-scoring Tulsa Golden Hurricane. This is college football on FX. Owen Field at Memorial Stadium. This is the FX Game of the Week, brought to you by Russell Athletic, where tonight we feature the Oklahoma Sooners, the #1 ranked team in the nation out of the Big 12, taking on the Golden Hurricane of Tulsa out of Conference USA. Hi everybody, I'm Gus Johnson along with Charles Davis, and welcome to Norman, where Oklahoma comes in as the consensus #1 team in all of America, and they return a litany of stars. However, they're taking on a very dangerous Tulsa squad, riding a 7-game winning streak, which included a huge win at Notre Dame.
They call themselves the little team that could, and they think that they can again tonight against the #1 ranked Oklahoma Sooners.
All right, let's talk about OU. They have a star at almost every position, but the biggest star is their quarterback, Landry Jones.
And you can tell by the numbers just how big a star he is. 38 touchdown passes last year, over 4,000 yards, 64 touchdown passes in his career already. But the big part for him is leadership. His team goes as he goes.
Tulsa finished 10-3 last year. They're a team that averages over 500 yards per game, over 40 points per game, and they also have a dynamic quarterback. He's different from Landry Jones. He's a scrambler, and some may say a gambler.
And a gunslinger. Why? He's from Texas, Gary Joe Kinney, and this guy can move it with his legs. He gets it downfield with his arm in the vertical game. He loves to play in big games. Notre Dame, Oklahoma, he says bring it on.
All right, two great quarterbacks competing on the field this evening, and that brings us to our Sprint Superstar Spotlight. Landry Jones knows who to go to when he's throwing the ball, and it's to this man, Ryan Broyles, one of the best receivers in the country.
And everyone wants a #1 receiver that'll catch about 10 passes a night, go over 115 yards, and score touchdowns. That's what Ryan Broyles does.
Meanwhile, defensively for Tulsa, this kid, last year, a freshman All-America, Sean Jackson knows how to get to the quarterback.
8.5 sacks last year. He loves to come hard off the edge.
Coming up after the commercial break, Kevin Frazier and Marcus Allen live in our Los Angeles studio. Moments ago, the #1 ranked Oklahoma Sooners made their entrance in front of their home fans. Oklahoma winning 36 straight home games, the longest active home winning streak in the nation. Their opponents this evening, the Golden Hurricane of Tulsa. Time now to join the third member of our team, our sideline analyst and our coach, Coach Tim Brewster. And Coach, what's going through the minds of these two coaches as they prepare for the first game of the season?
Gus, Bob Stoops is poised. He's relaxed. He knows what type of team he has. He has the #1 team in the country, and they're going to embrace being the #1 team in the country. Tonight, the Tulsa Golden Hurricane come in here with a first-year head coach, Bill Blankenship. He's had a hard week. Damaris Johnson, he had to suspend. The best player for the Tulsa Golden Hurricanes will sit this game out. The next man up mentality will certainly be tested this evening. It's a daunting task for the Tulsa Golden Hurricane to come into Owen Field and play the Oklahoma Sooners.
All right, Coach, 75th straight sellout here at OU, and the Sooners won the toss and have elected to receive the football. Gus Johnson along with Charles Davis. Hot and humid at kickoff time in Norman. 99 degrees. 25% humidity as these two teams prepare to battle. So ready to send it away for Tulsa, Kevin Fitzpatrick, the senior, and this Oklahoma return team
We talked to Bob Stoops, and he was really confident and positive about his special teams going into this game.
They coach them so hard, and he's got game breakers back deep, whether it's punt return or kick return. He just wants his guys up front to give them a chance.
Bob Stoops, all he's done in his 13th season here at OU is win 7 Big 12 titles, as well as a national championship in 2000. So Fitzpatrick will tee it up from the 30-yard line as Oklahoma will send back deep Trey Franks, as well as Brennan Clay. Franks, a sprint champion, two-time state 100-meter champion out of the state of Texas. He can naturally fly. Tulsa, OU, and we're underway from Norman. And this is Franks inside his own 5. And Franks all the way up to the 25-yard line. And that will bring out the starting quarterback for this Oklahoma team, Landry Jones, 6'4", 229, junior from Artesia, New Mexico. He was a Sammy Ball Award winner in 2010 as the nation's top passer. He led the nation in completions, as well as he was the number 2 in passing yards, close to 5,000, and touchdowns with 38. First down and 10 at the 26-yard line for Oklahoma. Brennan Clay, the sophomore from San Diego, California, lines up as the single setback. And here's Jones on first down, swings it out. Clay makes the first man miss, gets to the 30, make it the 34-yard line. It's a gain of 8 on the play. Cornelius Arnick with the tackle. That brings us to the Chick-fil-A starting lineup. And we'll try to get it in as Oklahoma gets back to the line of scrimmage quickly and snaps the football. Brennan Clay running it quickly. Let's go through this starting lineup.
Well, take a look at Trey Franks, who's going to start tonight for Kenny Stills, the wide receiver who's suspended this evening. It'll be running back by committee. Expect to see up to 5 of them as Oklahoma goes up-tempo.
Brennan Clay again running left this time. And he crosses the 45 up to the 46-yard line. And you talk about playing fast, Charles. Oklahoma led the nation in total plays last year, 1,211 in 14 games, nearly 87 a game.
So get prepared for fast break football tonight, because the Tulsa Golden Hurricane, we're 4th in the nation in total plays run.
2nd and 5 at the 45, opening drive for OU. Here's the handoff straight ahead, Brennan Clay. And Clay wrestled down, nicely done. Tyron Walker, the senior from New Iberia, Louisiana, 6'3", 273 with the tackle.
He's their best pass rusher, but they say that he's improved against the run, wants to be a complete player for the Golden Hurricane.
Brings up 3rd down and 4 at the 46-yard line. Jones sprinting out with time. Lets it go, incomplete. No flags on the play. Ryan Broyles, the intended receiver. So how about this? Oklahoma coming up empty on their first drive. They'll punt it away. Great defense by Lowell Rose, the junior left corner.
And nice pressure applied by the middle linebacker Cornelius Arnick, number 32, getting in the face of Landry Jones and helping force the incompletion.
And without Damaris Johnson back deep, Bill Blankenship has had to shuffle his special teams. Marco Nelson, who's the starting safety, returning punts. Tress Way sends it away, angling it toward the far side, takes a bounce, and Oklahoma will down it inside the Tulsa 10-yard line, a 46-yard punt. So that brings out G.J. Kinney. What a year last season for this senior from Gilmer, Texas, Conference USA, Offensive Player of the Year. Threw for 3,600 yards, 31 TDs, only 10 interceptions, and he also led this team in rushing.
Kid grew up on football, the son of a coach, but the coach was a linebacker when he played in college. The son flipped over to play on the offensive side of the ball.
First down and 10 at the 8-yard line. Willie Carter lines up at that H-back position for Tulsa. Kinney dumps it off, finds Carter out of the backfield. And he is ridden down by Javon Harris, the junior free safety from Lawton, Oklahoma. And that's a gain of 5. Time now to take a look at the Chick-fil-A starting lineup. We'll start with this veteran offensive line for this Tulsa squad right after this play.
We talked about fast break football. Both teams coming out and getting up to the line of scrimmage quickly.
Now Trey Watts, son of former Sooner J.C. Watts. And now we'll take a look at the Chick-fil-A starting lineups.
Well, for Tulsa, much has been made already about the loss of Damaris Johnson. He hurts him in the return game and the receiving game. Thomas Robertson, number 7, steps into his stead tonight. And up front, their best player is their left tackle, Tyler Holmes. He can play for any roster in the country.
Brings up 3rd down and 1 from the 17-yard line. Willie Carter, Trey Watts in the backfield. Kinney throws on the run. Beautiful catch. Carter out of the backfield, and he'll go down at the 28-yard line, but gain of 1st down, plus 11 on the play. Aaron Colvin with the tackle for OU.
How about that bunch formation to the right side of their formation, and they ended up getting essentially a pick because one of the receivers ran down and knocked down an Oklahoma defender and took him out of coverage and opened the space.
1st down and 10 to the 28. Kenny out of the shotgun. Trey Watts right next to him. Kenny throws a slant underneath. Incomplete. Now quickly, let's do the Oklahoma defense.
Up front for the Sooners, Ronell Lewis. His head coach calls him simply a beast. At the linebacker position, Tom Ward runs the show in the middle. Corey Nelson filling in for the All-American Travis Lewis. And back deep, Jamel Fleming, 2nd in the nation last year in passes broken up.
2nd and 10 at the 28. Willie Carter and Watts in the backfield. Kenny out of the shotgun. And they hand it to Watts straight ahead. And he gets to the 30-yard line. And that's a gain of 2.
And that's what the Oklahoma coaches were looking for beginning tonight. Last year, they had a little trouble in the run defense area. The worst run defense in Oklahoma since 1971. They need their inside guys to be stouter. That's the type of play they're looking for.
3rd down, 8 at the 30-yard line. They need to go to the 38.5 for 1st down.
And Gus, while Tulsa is audibling from their sideline, Oklahoma's doing the same thing.
Here's Kenny with time. Throws down the seam, incomplete. That ball intended for Thomas Robertson, the sophomore from Tulsa. He's the man that G.J. Kinney himself asked to replace Damaris Johnson.
That tells you that his quarterback has a lot of trust in that young man. Robertson is a sophomore who proved himself last year, Conference USA freshman team. And when G.J. Kinney asks for something, the Tulsa coaches tend to listen.
And that brings on Cole Way, the brother of Tress Way, the starting punter for Oklahoma. He's a tall 6 feet 8 inch left-footed punter, end-over-end kick. And Ryan Broyles signaling for the fair catch. He has it at the 30-yard line, a 39-yard punt. 11:19 to play. 1st quarter, no score at OU. The FX Game of the Week is presented by Russell Athletic, who reminds you that together we are. And by Buick. See real stories of human achievement on the Buick Human Highlight Reel at ncaa.com/Buick. Gus Johnson along with Charles Davis, Coach Tim Brewster on the sideline. Are you surprised at Landry Jones and the Oklahoma offense not moving it as easily as one may think?
Not at all. Early game, emotion. Tulsa out there playing pretty amped up right now, feeling good. Let's see if Oklahoma wants to run the ball a little bit on this series.
On 1st down, they hand it off. This time it's Dominique Whaley spinning. And Whaley lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. Dexter McCoy with the tackle. And with his last completion, Landry Jones just passed former OU quarterback Jason White for 2nd place all-time in career passing yards. Barring injury, he should pass number 1 Sam Bradford in the next week or 2.
So he passed one statue here at Oklahoma and Jason White, chasing another one. You get a statue if you win a Heisman here at OU.
2nd down and 11 at the 30. Here's Jones with time to throw, fires, and that one caught Ryan Broyles with the reception, but we should mention, as you take a look at Broyles, that this OU team is without one of its biggest threats in Kenny Stills.
Kenny Stills is the #2 receiver at Oklahoma. I would dare say, Gus, having watched him practice and watching him on tape, he would be a #1 at most other schools in the NCAA.
Still suspended for tonight's opener by Coach Bob Stoops for an off-the-field issue taking place in May. Over the middle, there's Broyles. And he's got running room. And Broyles down to the 31-yard line. That's a 35-yard gain. Dexter McCoyle tracks him down. Oklahoma moving the ball.
And after a big play, they like to really go up-tempo and hit you while you're still reflecting on the last play. Notice they're already at the line of scrimmage, getting the play call, wanting to come right back at Tulsa. Looked like the secondary over-rotated and left a gap for Ryan Broyles.
First down at 10 at the 31. Dominique Whaley, the walk-on co-starter on this team. They find him in the flats. The Langston transfer gets inside the 25, and he's ushered out of bounds by Milton Howell. But how great of a story is this? This young man played football at Langston, transferred to OU, walked out starting, playing major minutes.
And I wonder if at Langston they're wondering why they weren't starting him.
Here's Broyles spinning, breaks a tackle, tries to turn down the sideline. Ryan Broyles with yards after the catch. Marco Nelson with the tackle, along with Cornelius Arnick. Now first down and 10 at the 17. Whaley remains in the backfield with Landry Jones. Jones underneath. And this one caught by DeJuan Miller. And Coach Stoops, very interesting, talking about DeJuan Miller in our meeting with him yesterday.
This is the last 8 games of the year with a knee injury. They love the way he came out and practiced in the fall.
Broyles again. And he is knocked out of bounds inside the 10-yard line by Milton Howell.
Notice how he searched out the first down marker, though, Gus. And Ryan Broyles only goes 5'10", 188 as the list is how he's listed on the roster. But how about him getting into the flat and getting out of bounds for a first down?
Fourth catch of the day for Broyles. He gained 6 on that play. First down at the 6-yard line. Whaley, the single setback. Frank's in motion. Whaley straight ahead, and he's chopped down. Nicely done. Cornelius Arnick, senior from Dallas.
Coaches love to say all the time, the unblocked defender should make a big play. But that he was unblocked because of a quick read by Cornelius Arnick. Read formation, understood blocking scheme, shot the gap, and was in the backfield about the time he took the handoff.
Arnick led this team in tackles last year with 116. Second down at the 6-yard line. Jones with time in the end zone, incomplete. That ball intended for Trey Millard, the sophomore fullback. And they are really high on him here in Norman.
And that's one I know that they would like to have back because that play came open for them. Millard circling into the middle of the defense. Landry Jones just out of his reach.
Third and goal from the 6.
And a timeout called by Tulsa. That's their first. And how about Coach Bill Blankenship? What a career he's had. Legendary coach at Union High School in Tulsa. Went to 7 state championships. Won 3. And Coach Brewster, Bill Blankenship is your kind of coach, I'm sure.
Well, Coach Blankenship was 16 years at Tulsa Union High School. He paid his dues, a lot like I did at Lafayette Central Catholic High School. He's got a great opportunity here at Tulsa. He is excited and fired up about being here tonight.
What do you think he's thinking here, Coach?
Well, right now, they got to make him kick at it. Look for James Hanna, guys. You know Hanna, 7 touchdowns down here in the red zone last year. I think right now is a great opportunity for OU to look for Hanna.
So there he is, James Hanna, only 18 catches, but as Coach mentioned, 7 of those for touchdowns. Very effective inside the red zone. Third down, 10th play of the drive. It started at the 31 for Landry Jones, calling the play at the line of scrimmage. Jones Looking. Bounces out of the pocket. Throws on the run. Incomplete. Great pressure being applied by Tyron Walker. And Oklahoma will have to settle for a field goal. That's a win for Tulsa.
That's a huge win for Tulsa after the drive by Oklahoma. And it wasn't just the pressure by Walker. The pressure came because the secondary did their job. They hugged up on every receiver that was in the route. Landry Jones had nowhere to go with the ball, tried to extend the play with his legs a little bit longer, and then Walker's pressure forced him to get rid of it.
Brings in Jimmy Stevens, 19 for 23 last year, 38 of 48 during his OU career. In to attempt a 23-yarder. He will handle field goals from 40 yards and in. Bob Stoops has about 5 kickers on his roster.
Illegal substitution, 12 men in the formation against the offense. That'll be a 5-yard penalty, remains 4th down.
So Stevens will be backed up. And Bob Stoops not very happy, Charlie, about this call.
He's not happy because they had 12 guys on the field, but the truth of the matter is the 5-yard penalty doesn't hurt the kicker at all. It actually helps his angle a little bit because now he's got a little more distance to kick it from. Instead of shortening it, he lengthens it, and now he can let it out a little bit more with his leg.
So Stevens from 28 yards away. It's up. And good. Oklahoma on the board with 7:53 to play in the first quarter. Back to Norman right after this. Oklahoma strikes first blood, going on an 11-play, 58-yard drive, eating up 3 minutes and 26 seconds. Big play on that drive. Ryan Broyles with a 35-yard reception over the middle.
The only downside for Oklahoma, still seeking to get the run game in gear, knocking a hole in the front of Tulsa and trying to find those gaps and creases for their runners to go through. Still totally relying, not totally, but big time relying on the pass game so far.
Trey Watts back deep. Michael Honeycutt will serve as the kickoff specialist. And this is Watts inside the 5-yard line. And Watts gets up to the 25, a 21-yard return. Now let's go to Kevin Frazier in Los Angeles for game break.
Gus, 12th-ranked South Carolina, clawing their way back against East Carolina. Marcus Lattimore, the touchdown there. Steve Spurrier did not start Steven Garcia. He let his backup start the game, put him in the second quarter. Maybe sending a message to the quarterback. Charles, what do you think?
I don't think there's any doubt, Kevin, that he sent a message for Steven Garcia, who's been in so much trouble. He's welcome back, but you have to earn it totally. But I tell you this, Kevin, he'll start next week against Georgia. I'll bet you that.
First down and 10 at the 25-yard line for G.J. Kinney. Looking to the far side. That one knocked down. Terrific job by Frank Alexander, the senior from Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
And that's fundamental football. You can't get back to the passer, get your arms up in the passing lane. Watch the tackle. In the end, if they can't chop down Frank Alexander, see, he never got to him to try and cut him. He cut him late, but there was so much space, he was able to get in the air and bat it away early.
Second down and 10 at the 25. They set up a screen. No, Kinney wants to run it, and he'll just dump it. Oklahoma doing a terrific job smelling that play out.
Gus, you nailed it. They are so quick to the football, reacting to what they see. They read their keys and ran to the screen pass. Kinney had to come back to the other side and ground it to avoid a sack.
Kinney, 2 of 6 for 16 yards to start this game. Brings up third down and 10 at the 25. They need to go to the 35 for first down. Kinney out of the gun. G.J. fires. That ball caught Willie Carter, but he will not have enough for the first down. Terrific job by Tony Jefferson, the sophomore from Chula Vista, California, coming up and making a play.
And Gus, it's been my experience watching Oklahoma over the years that you've got to find a way to push the passing game downfield some. Because if you're going to throw short, you see how they rally to the football? See how quick they are? And they're excellent tacklers in the open field. If you're going to throw it short, you're probably going to be enveloped by Oklahoma more times than not. You've got to find a way to push them deeper in order to have opportunities.
Tony Jefferson, the Big 12 Defensive Freshman of the Year 1 season ago. Ryan Broyles back deep. Cole Way pops this one high in the air. And Broyles signaling for the fair catch, and he has it at the 27, a 41-yard punt. So Landry Jones Successful on his last trip with 3. He'll go after 7 right now. And welcome back. Don't forget, folks, our 1st and 10 line is brought to you by Russell Athletic. Gus Johnson, Charles Davis, Coach Tim Brewster, OU with the football now. 1st down and 10 at their 27. Landry Jones, 7 of 10, 70 yards thus far. Roy Finch in the backfield, and they hand this one off. It's been Clay running straight ahead. And Clay stopped by Marco Nelson.
And the backs that are playing early for Oklahoma are not just good running backs, but they are their best pass protectors. The way you stay on the field at Oklahoma as a running back is to make sure you keep Landry Jones' jersey clean. If you can't do that, you will not be in the backfield for OU.
2nd and 3 at the 34. Here's Jones, far side. Nice throw, beautiful catch, Ryan Broyles. And Broyles wrestled down by Lowell Rose. One thing that should be mentioned, John Flanders, a starting right corner for Tulsa, has been declared academically ineligible, and he is not in attendance tonight. And he was their starting right corner. Number 19, Milton Howell, replaces him. 1st down and 10 at the 39. And they hand it to Clay with running room. And Clay powering forward close to the 1st down as Corey Doris tracks him down from behind, but that's a gain of 9.
And Gus, the first 2 1st downs for Oklahoma on this drive, excellent runs, puts them ahead of the chains. They're going to go fast now, but they love what they're getting out of the run game on 1st down.
Brennan Clay, and he's stopped by Cornelius Arnick.
And when you're watching this run game for Oklahoma, as we get set up, Tim Brewster, coach, when you're watching this team operate now, all they heard last year was the struggles about running the football. How does it look so far to you this year, trying to get things moving?
Charles, early on, OU wasn't getting done what they needed to up front. Looks like they're getting into a rhythm now. Clay's getting some good runs off. They're big and physical up front. As this game goes on, they are going to wear down the Tulsa front.
All right, that brings up 2nd down and 10, incomplete pass. Rose covering Broyles. And when we talked to Bill Blankenship on Thursday during our conference call, his main objective was to keep people in front and to make tackles in the open field.
Because of the way Oklahoma likes to play in space, whether it's the pass game or swinging it out to the backs, you have to be able to tackle an open field.
2nd and 10, there's outside, beautiful hit. And an even better catch. Terrific job by Dominique Whaley to hold on to the ball. Rose coming up, and he makes an open field tackle.
Did you see that coming?
No, I didn't.
Because right there, I'm calling you Carnap. You're talking about open field tackling on demand. A nice job coming up and laying the hit down. Lowell Rose, the transfer from UCLA.
3rd down, 7 to the 45. Now Landry Jones will change the play. They need to go to the 38 for 1st down. Tulsa has been bend but don't break. Jones over the middle. Broyles in traffic. Great catch at the 32, and he took a lick from Dexter McCoy. It's a gain of 15, 1st down OU.
And what they did on that play, as they continue to go fast, they rotated into a 3-deep coverage to try and take away the middle. Gus, didn't work.
Now Jones again. His intended receiver, Broyles. So far, Broyles 6 catches for 69 yards in the 1st quarter.
Remember the big play Ryan Broyles had down the middle of the field? That was against 2-deep coverage. They had a hole in the middle. So Tulsa's answer was to rotate, show 2-deep coverage, move it to what they call 3-deep with a safety in the middle of the field to try and take away that hole.
2nd down and 10 at the Tulsa 30. Jones, sideline, and incomplete. Dewan Miller, the intended receiver. And that brings up 3rd down and long.
As fast as Oklahoma plays, one of the observations I'm having early is they still get to multiple formations and sets. it doesn't matter. They have so many versatile guys on the field, they don't necessarily need to substitute to get to a different look.
OU 2 of 4 on third down conversions. Brennan Clay back in the game. They're faced with a third down and 10 to the 30. Sooners need to go to the 20-yard line for first down. Jones over the middle and caught. Now that's the sign of a terrific leader. DeJuan Miller drops the ball. Landry Jones on the next play goes right back to him.
And when you do that, all you're doing is engendering trust from the rest of the team. And those guys are willing to make a play for you. Thank you, quarterback. I'll get you back. And he does.
So the chains continue to move for Jones. First down and 10 to the 15. That was a 15-yard gain.
Another set now, pistol formation for Oklahoma. Power side is to the right side with a tight end and a wing back.
Whaley, flag on the play as Whaley carries Golden Hurricane players all the way to the 2-yard line. If it stands, it's a 13-yard gain. Sean Jackson with the tackle.
Offside, number 50 of the defense. Penalty will be declined. Result of the play will stand. First down.
Look to the right side, and then coming back to the left side was Trey Millard, who was a fullback slash H-back slash tight end, and he delivered the block on the backside that helped spring Whaley up front.
12th play of the drive. That started at the Oklahoma 27. First down and goal at the 2-yard line.
And Gus, I've got to believe that Oklahoma's coaches would love to jam this in here in on a running play. They want to establish some physicalness up front. This is a great time for it.
That's timeout called by the Sooners. Each team with 2 timeouts remaining.
Coach Brewster, all they've talked about all season was being more physical up front. They talked about the offensive line, telling them in short yardage, in goal line, have that defender over the goal line. Push him back there. Let's get in. The Texas A&M game when they couldn't do it looms large.
Let's get the big uglies going, huh, Charles? Let's get them going. Let's run the ball in the end zone. It sends a great message from OU to Tulsa that we're just getting started and we're not going to be stopped.
And when your defense comes off the field, Coach, when someone throws one in on you as opposed to running it in from inside the 2-yard line, you don't feel as bad, do you?
Hey, Ben Hayburn and his group up front, they're telling Coach Stoops right now, run the ball, Coach. Let's go.
All right, the great views from just above the field come from the Chase Action Camera. First down and goal at the 2-yard line. Here's Whaley, second man through, touchdown Sooners.
Watch the middle and watch the fullback. Where he goes, the tailback's going to follow. Millard with the block, but look at up front. They were huge in there. 79, Darrell Williams. 61, Ben Hayburn. Just pounding people, knocking them back at exactly what they were looking for. Whaley falls on top of his offensive lineman, who pushed the Tulsa defenders across the goal line.
And Jimmy Stevens comes in to add the extra point at Oklahoma. 3:20 remaining in the first quarter. The Sooners take a 10-0 lead. Now, fans, don't forget next Saturday on the FX Game of the Week will be in Eugene, Oregon, where the number 3 ranked Oregon Ducks host the upset-minded Nevada Wolfpack. The FX College Football Game of the Week, presented by Russell Athletic, begins next Saturday at 3:30 p.m. Eastern, 12:30 p.m. Pacific in high definition. Only on FX.
Partner, you were talking about how fast these teams play.
Yes.
All right, so you broke it down for us. The number 1 team in running plays in the nation last year was Oklahoma. Number 4 was Tulsa. You remember who 2 and 3 were?
Oregon and Nevada.
We're going to see them next week.
You know, I'm going to throw all my notes away as we take a look, Charles, at most offensive plays.
These teams get up to the line of scrimmage, run quickly, but know what else it tells you? That they take care of the football. Because if you're turning it over a lot, you're not on offense as much. So these teams take care of it, grind it and get it downfield, and can score on big plays. I can't wait to go to Eugene, Oregon, and watch the Ducks fly with the Wolfpack next week.
All right, Michael Honeycutt will send it away. Marco Nelson, the deep man, standing at the goal line for Tulsa. And Honeycutt driving this football. Nelson from the 3. Nelson weaving his way up the field as he crosses the 25 up to the 27-yard line. Now let's go to Los Angeles and join our Kevin Frazier.
Gus, number 7 Boise State taking on 22nd ranked Georgia, and you gotta love this. Brandon Boykin finds a seam, he's gone. Now Georgia in their new Nike Pro Combat uniforms. Marcus Allen, what do you think?
I don't like the helmets or the jerseys.
I just can't see Herschel Walker in that uniform. Georgia up 7-0. Meanwhile, a second weather stoppage at Notre Dame. 4 turnovers by the Fighting Irish. The story here, South Florida on the verge of a big upset. 23-13, the score there. Let's go back to Gus.
On the field, we'll update you on his status as soon as we know something. First down, Kinney, and he throws to the sideline. That ball caught by Brian Burnham, the junior from Moorestown, New Jersey. And right now, this Tulsa offense, so prolific a year ago, trying to find a rhythm.
And Gus, I know they completed that pass for a nice gain, but you notice how quickly the defender was on the spot to make the tackle? They've got to find a way to push them downfield, maybe max protect a little bit and give G.J. Kinney a chance to air it out a little.
And Kinney handing this football off. Jatarian Douglas, a speedster, over the left side, but he's shut down by guess who? Tony Jefferson. No gain on the play.
The linebackers for Oklahoma, Tony Jefferson is not even listed at 200 pounds. He is a free safety playing outside linebacker, which means he's going to run you down if you run laterally. Jatarian Douglas is a great sprinter, but Tony Jefferson can run too.
Third down and 2, the 34. Kinney hasn't run yet, has that one deflected at the line of scrimmage, incomplete. Corey Nelson, as well as Frank Alexander in the vicinity. Let's see who got their hands on the football.
This part of the screen, Nelson is 7, Alexander 84. Watch Alexander's hands get into the passing lane. That's the second knockdown he's had of the evening. He was working against Tyler Holmes, the best offensive lineman for Tulsa. Couldn't get to the quarterback, hand in the passing lane, and that big paw knocked it away.
So 3 and out once again for the Golden Hurricane. As Colway stands inside his own 20. Ryan Broyles back deep, hovering around the 25. And Broyles, once again, a fair catch. A 37-yard punt. Now next week, the regular season National Football League begins with a Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader. First, the $100 million man, folks. Michael Vick and the Eagles take on the Rams, or see the Falcons versus the Bears, the Lions, and the Bucks. Then it's America's Game of the Week as the Giants take on the Skins. Vikings play the Chargers, Seahawks, Niners, Panthers, Cardinals. Coverage begins next week with the Built Ford Tough Fox NFL Sunday pregame show at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. Check local listings, game in your area.
What a great opening weekend of NFL football. Some terrific matchups there.
First down at 10 at the 29, 153 yards of total offense for OU. And here's the handoff. Brennan Clay. And Clay muscles his way down. Arnick, as well as DeWitt Jennings, making the tackle collectively. And Brennan Clay last year, 36 carries, 127 yards as a freshman backup. And they really missed DeMarco Murray. He was so consistent, so sure-handed in that OU backfield.
And they never had to substitute for him. He was a 3-down back. No matter what the situation, he could handle it. This year, they'll have to mix and match their running backs for the situations of personnel.
Jones throwing far side. Franks with the reception, and DeWitt Jennings tracks him down from behind. DeMarco Murray now playing with the Dallas Cowboys. Looks like he will make that squad.
Never had a doubt about that. He can do it all. He can pass, protect, catch the ball in the backfield, helps you in the kick return game, and obviously can run the football.
Third down and 3 for OU at their own 36. Landry Jones in the shotgun. Jones underneath, great throw, nice catch. Trey Miller showing his versatility as Arnick brings him down. As you mentioned, Miller can do a little bit of everything.
He can play tight end. He can play the H-back where he'll be a move guy. He can play the fullback position. They can throw it to him because he has terrific hands. He blows you up in the run game as a blocker. And if they want to go one back and run what they call 4-minute offense and run the clock down, he can be the single back who can carry the football.
First down and 10 on the 40-yard line for Landry Jones and the Oklahoma offense. Jones, play fake. Jones throwing down the middle. Caught. Broyles stumbles and down inside the 10. Rose with the saving tackle. But Landry Jones goes deep to Broyles.
And look at the body control, and look at what he does. He gets the defender on his back, and that's what they commonly call a stretch catch. He felt Lowell Rose coming, got him on his back, reached out, and made the catch.
Sooners running it with Clay. And that is a 50-yard gain for Ryan Broyles. Man that caught 131 balls one season ago.
And the guy averaged over 116 yards, averaged about 116 yards per game and caught balls in 39 straight, now 40. But how about the body control and getting the defender on his back so the defender couldn't get to the football? Terrific job by Ryan Broyles.
Ryan Broyles, 8 catches, 134 yards receiving in the first quarter, and he looks sweet doing it. 10-0 OU. Welcome back to Norman, Oklahoma, the #1 team in the nation, the Oklahoma Sooners, with a 10-0 lead as we start the second quarter. And OU knocking on the door once again. Second down and goal at the 6-yard line. And so far for this Oklahoma squad, 218 yards in one quarter in total offense. For Tulsa, only 36 yards.
And this 2nd and 6 play, to me, sets up whether or not Bob Stoops decides he wants to make this 4-down territory or not. If they get a good gain on this, Gus, I think if they get 4 yards or so and you go 3rd and 2, he might be very well thinking about saying, guys, you're going 4 downs. I want to punch one in right here.
Whaley, who's already scored a touchdown, lines up behind Landry Jones in the backfield. And they hand it to him straight ahead. And he will cross the 5-yard line. Cornelius Arnick with the tackle.
Gus, I guarantee you they're thinking 4 downs right here. They may not actually do it, but I think Bob Stoops has told Josh Heupel, his offensive play caller, if we get something good here and we have to go for it on 4th down inside the 1, I think he's willing to do it here.
3rd down goal, this time from the 3 out of the I formation. Millard, the up back. Whaley smelling the end zone. Touchdown, Oklahoma. Second touchdown of the night for Dominique Whaley.
And the Oklahoma offensive staff is loving what they're seeing because they're being physical up front and they're running the ball down Tulsa's throat right now. Big emphasis in the offseason. Wanted to be more physical. Here it is coming right at you. Look at the big guys up front. Watch how they move the defensive line of Tulsa. And Whaley, with his power, diving through and runs right through the tackle of Sean Jackson into the end zone.
This play of a touchdown is under further review.
And they're going to review the touchdown.
See, and while they're reviewing, the offensive staff for Oklahoma is discussing 4th and short. Do we go for it or not? I'm guessing they're going to say yes if it's determined that he's short. Let's take a look as Whaley goes down. Looks like the ball from there. Elbow is down first. Was that on the goal line? Where's the ball? There's Whaley. Elbow down right there. Okay, so there's the elbow. Where's the football? See it back up here? I think they're going to mark that short and not give him a touchdown. And if it's that short, there should be no doubt that Oklahoma goes for it on 4th and short.
So we will see. Whaley having a very good first half. Let's take another look.
Here's one more look at it. Take a look. There's the elbow going down. There's your first part. Ball is back here. Hadn't crossed the goal line at that point. So I think that they're going to mark it short on about the 1 foot line and make it 4th down.
All right, let's bring in Mike Carrera, our rules analyst at our Fox Command Center. And Mike, what do you think?
Hey, you guys are all over this. That elbow puts him down. That down the line shot is perfect. They'll move it to about the 1/2 yard line, little inside the 1/2 yard line. Set it up, wind the clock. It'll be 4th down. This will be a reversal.
Mike Carrera, maybe the most Natalie-attired rules analyst in all of football.
Without question. It's not even close. Whoever wants to compete for that job, just go ahead and realize you're playing for second. But the elbow, as Mike talked about, was down first before the ball hit the goal line and crossed. So it should be short, about the 1 foot line, and 4th down for Oklahoma.
All right, let's take a listen to the call.
After further review, the runner's elbow was down before the ball broke the plane of the goal line. The ball will be placed on the 1/2 yard line. It will be 4th down.
You've got to go for it here, don't you?
Well, you would think that Oklahoma would certainly want to go for it.
Coach Brew, would you even hesitate about going for it here?
Charles, I'm with you 100%. We got to send a knockout message right here. Got to send a message with the big guys up front. Run this ball in the end zone.
Real quick, do you sneak Landry Jones or do you hand it to a back?
I hand it to a back, Charles. I don't like the quarterback sneak. I think the quarterback-center exchange is hard.
And they dab the big guy up front, Gus. They got Millard, number 33, their hammer at fullback, leading their tailback.
And Whaley will get another crack at it, maybe. They give it to him straight ahead. Touchdown. And this time it will stand.
Follow the fullback in these situations. Where he goes, typically the tailback's going to go. See him leading, but it's the big guys up front that made it happen. Look at 89, Austin Hayward, the tight end. 69, up front for Oklahoma, Lane Johnson, pounding people. Trent Rattery, number 47, right in the middle. Ben Hayburn, 61.
And the extra point, no good. As Jimmy Stevens pulled it. And the score, Oklahoma 16, Tulsa nothing.
Jimmy Stevens finished last season converting 12 of his last 13 field goals, and it set a goal this year of being at 90% in field goals. But while he was 12 of 13 in field goals, I think he was perfect from extra points from the PATs. So this is a little bit of a surprise as we watch Jimmy Stevens pull that one. I mean, last year, 53 of 53 for extra points.
So Oklahoma goes up 16-0. And if you're Tulsa and you've had all sorts of problems moving the football, what can you do? First of all, we have to, before we even get into that, discuss Damaris Johnson, who was suspended indefinitely from this team for violating team rules off the field. And it looks like he will not play this season.
It appears that way in our conversation with Bill Blankenship, the head coach of Tulsa. He wasn't optimistic about getting Damaris back. But Gus, as you talked about, it's not just his role as a wide receiver on offense that we're talking about. Here's where it would start for Tulsa. In the kick return game, he often gave them excellent field position to start their offense.
Trey Watts back deep. Comes up to field it at the 10-yard line. Watts spinning and written down at the 25. Now let's go to Kevin Frazier in Los Angeles for a game break.
Gus, special teams deciding game we thought would be an offensive shootout. Number 3 Oregon, number 4 LSU. Never go backwards, do you, Marcus Allen?
Special teams is critical here. You can't turn the ball over, especially against a good team and on the road.
Tyrann Mathieu, the touchdown, LSU up.
All right, Kevin, first down and 10 at the 26. Remember, we will see Oregon next week in Eugene. Trey Watts looking for running room. Pulled down by Tony Jefferson. Oh, actually make that G.J. Kinney. And it's a gain of 3 on the play.
And the hard part for Tulsa is their style of run game actually plays into the hands of Oklahoma because they are a lateral moving run game team. They need to find ways to hit it up inside quicker to try and move these guys up front.
Kinney throwing to the far side. Burnham trying to earn yards after the catch. A flag on the play as well. It looks like a face mask may be coming up.
Personal foul, grabbing and twisting the face mask. Number 90 of the defense. The penalty would be 15 yards, first down.
That's David King.
And this David King, who's a defensive end pursuing from inside out, and gets to the face mask once and then yanks it down. It really gets him by the shoulder pads the second time. But what they called was the first initial contact with the hand on the face mask, yanking him down.
So that gives this Tulsa squad very nice field position. First down at their own 48. Jatarian Douglas in the game. And they run him on the reverse, and Douglas gets to the 40-yard line. That's a 7-yard gain. Is that what they call a jet sweep?
That's a little bit of a jet sweep, and also what it does is it gets Oklahoma with their speed moving in one direction and aligning your blocking as they come back to the other side, because now you're moving them one way and using their speed against them.
Jatarian Douglas once again with space. Douglas, a sophomore from Arlington, Texas. He's their change of pace running back.
Did you notice how that one hit inside quicker, Gus? You notice they didn't spend a lot of time with it. Didn't go side to side laterally where Oklahoma can run them down a little bit more straight at them.
And a flag prior to the snap.
Prior to the snap, false start. Number 12 of the offense. 5-yard penalty, remain second down.
That's Jordan James, the sophomore.
And what we're seeing now out of Tulsa, and I know there was a penalty, but I like this drive. Coach Brewster, I don't see this team panicking despite the score right now.
It's all about Coach Blankenship's leadership. Poise, poise, poise. Right now, stay relaxed.
Second down and 8 at the 39. Kinney underneath. That one knocked away. Tony Jefferson just reaching around and knocking that ball to the turf.
See, essentially, Oklahoma's playing with, it's essentially, to me, a 4-2-5. Because Tony Jefferson was playing free safety in spring ball, and he was their best free safety. They've got him back at linebacker. He'll run down anything underneath.
Brings up third down and 8 at the 39. Tulsa 1 of 4 on third down conversions this evening. So far, this is their best drive of the game. Kinney, he takes off with room and dives forward and gets the first down. Terrific job on third down and 8. G.J. Kinney gets 9. Gabe Lynn with the tackle.
Watch Tom Ward, the middle linebacker. He's actually in position to stop this play. 3-man rush. Watch it open up. Ward's right there, but Kinney jukes him and is able to pick up the first down.
First down and 10 at the Oklahoma 30-yard line for Kinney. Pump fake. Kinney looking to the sideline, and he'll dump this one out of bounds. Hey.
Coach Brewster, they are throwing everything short. Is there any way they can get more of a vertical game going?
Well, right now, OU's putting so much pressure on G.J. Kinney. He's got to get the ball out of his hand, Charles.
Second down and 10 at the 30-yard line. Kinney with time to the sideline. Intercepted. Alexander. Look at the big fella. Frank Alexander plucks one out of the air. A 27-yard return. Trey Watts tackles him. And we have our first major turnover of the game. Alexander has deflected 2 balls. Now he picks one off.
And look at the coverage. Jamel Fleming, excellent defender. Second in the NCAA in passes broken up last year. And look at Frank Alexander pick it off.
16-zip, OU. All right, there have been some terrific quarterbacks during the Bob Stoops era.
Josh Heupel led him to a national title, was a runner-up for the Heisman Trophy. Jason White played for a national title and won the Heisman, and Sam Bradford did the same. Played for a national title, won the Heisman. Could Landry Jones be next in that lineage? And just think, they've won 7 Big 12 titles under Bob Stoops. They've had 6 different quarterbacks win those 7 titles.
First down and 10 at the 47. OU has scored on their last 3 possessions. And here's the handoff, Clay. And Clay doesn't go very far. Tyron Walker with the tackle along with Sean Jackson. And there's Coach Heupel, the new co-offensive coordinator, took over calling the plays at the Fiesta Bowl.
His co-offensive coordinator with Jay Norvell, who coaches the wide receivers. Josh Heupel has play calling responsibility. But I love all the different formations we're seeing from Oklahoma. We're seeing quarterback under center, in the pistol.
Incomplete. That ball intended for Miller, thrown a little low. And McCoyle defensively for the Golden Hurricane brings up 3rd down and 8 at the 49-yard line.
Interesting, we were talking with Bob Stoops the other day, and I asked him about spread principles being married with the run game. Got his blood up, didn't I, Gus? Because he said, we're not a spread team. I didn't suggest they were a spread team. I said spread principles. He said, we're not a spread team, we're multiple. We do a lot of different things, and we're a power running team. And we're seeing all of those elements tonight.
3rd down and 8. Landry Jones in trouble. Dances, fires on the run. Incomplete. And that's DeJuan Miller, his 2nd drop of the day, and it will force Oklahoma to punt it away.
We'll see if Landry Jones wants to come right back to him on the next series, as you pointed out him doing before, Gus. When he had a drop, came right back to him and fed him the ball, and he completed the pass. That should have been a catch on the sidelines, but DeJuan Miller was probably so conscious of getting his feet down that he lost concentration on the ball.
Marco Nelson, who limped off the field a few moments ago, back on. He must have cramped up. He's standing at the 10, ready to return it. Tressway from the 35. Spiraling kick, Nelson. And it's fair caught at the 12, a 39-yard punt. Norman, Oklahoma, Owen Field, 82,000 strong. #1 Sooners up 16 shape. The FX Game of the Week is brought to you by Chick-fil-A. We didn't invent the chicken, just the chicken sandwich. Gus Johnson, Charles Davis, Coach Tim Brewster from Norman, Oklahoma. G.J. Kinney. He struggled a bit in this game. 4 of 11, 31 yards. Remember, this Tulsa team averaged 500 yards in total offense per game last year and 43 points. Right now, they're being shut out 16-0. Here's Kinney firing, and he had a defender right in his face. A lot of pressure being applied that time. It was Washington, R.J. Washington Jr. from Fort Worth, Texas.
But I do like Kinney's football IQ on that play, because he knew he had nowhere to go with the ball, but knew there was dead grass right in front of him and intentionally put it there where no one could intercept it.
G.J. Kinney, last year's Conference USA Offensive Player of the Year, rolling out for those on the run. And this one will sail all the way into the stands. So that brings up 3rd down and 10 at the 12-yard line for Tulsa. As we take a look at some of the numbers. Time of possession, a very interesting one. Total yards as well. Oklahoma making sure that they get to the line of scrimmage quickly on as many plays as possible. 3rd down 10 from the 12.
And where will the pressure from Oklahoma come this time? Will they show it and just rush 3?
They run the draw. Watts looking for room, dives forward, and he will be short of the 1st down as he gets to the 20-yard line. Gabe Lynn, as well as Corey Nelson, in on the tackle.
You know, the problem on that play for Tulsa was it was a nice call. Everything broke the way it was supposed to, but he just got simply out-athleted, because the guys who actually rushed the passer turned and stopped on a dime and came back and ran down Trey Watts before he could get to the 1st down line. A little bit better athlete on that play won the battle.
Ryan Broyles back deep as Cole Ray stands at his own 5-yard line. And Broyles backpedaling, and he is knocked down. Flag on the play as Broyles signaled for the fair catch, interfered with by Milton Howell. And there will be a penalty coming up against the Golden Hurricane.
Now I hear the crowd booing. That wasn't a malicious play by Milton Howell at all. He didn't take a run at Ryan Broyles. He just got in the way. There's a big difference on that because we've all seen those plays where they actually just hammer the punt returner who doesn't have the ball. He just got in his way.
Interference with the opportunity to catch a kick. Number 19 of the kicking team. Penalty is 15 yards from the spot of the foul. First down.
.9:44 to play in the second quarter. When you're returning punts, gotta be a tough guy.
Coming up on the Geico Halftime Report, we'll update the Georgia-Boise State game and LSU-Oregon, plus an upset brewing in South Bend and a couple of very close calls for a few top-ranked teams. Also, what game had Marcus Allen biting his nails? It's all coming up in minutes. Gus?
All right, thank you very much, Kevin. What a murderer's row we have in the studio there with Kevin Frazier and Heisman Trophy winner, Hall of Famer Marcus Allen.
I can't imagine what game had him biting his nails. I can't imagine that it would be any. Could it be USC, Minnesota?
Hey, I know USC. They barely got away with that one today in Los Angeles. And it's Dominique Whaley running the football. Cornelius Arnick with the tackle, a gain of 6. This kid is so amazing to me. His perseverance, ability to adapt here at Oklahoma. He's playing currently for a scholarship. Now we talked to Bob Stoops about it. Currently, he's one of the co-starters in the backfield, and that doesn't guarantee you a scholarship at all.
No, they have a criteria at Oklahoma because otherwise every guy that starts a game that's a walkout would get a scholarship, and they just don't have enough to give that way.
Here's Franks. Nice move after the catch. He gets the first down. Trey Franks.
But Gus, going back to Whaley, you mentioned earlier in the game he's a transfer from Langston, which is a much smaller school, obviously. He wasn't even the starter at Langston. So I really want to talk to the coaching staff there and find out what was going on.
Not good enough for Langston, but good enough to start at Oklahoma. And I'm sure that Dominique will take it. And when you talk about running backs, I guess the running back position for this OU squad is the position that, in a sense, is up for grabs. You got 4, maybe 5 players that could get opportunities to carry the rock.
I've got 5 guys on my board tonight in the depth chart that possibly we could see. We haven't even gotten close to the freshman Brandon Williams, who I think everyone in the stadium is excited about seeing play.
Second down and 8 at the 23. Landry Jones, the pass in the flats, getting Clay. Nice catch out of the backfield as he lowers his shoulder and gets close to a first down. Clay changed his number this week from 21 to 3 because he was on special teams with Tom Wart wearing number 21, and he didn't want to be taken off special teams, so he changed his number.
Well, Bob Stoops told him you can keep the number, but you won't get the play, so you got to figure it out because I'm not getting Tom Wart to change his number. He's got more time and more seniority here.
First down and 10 at the 14. But as a matter of fact, Tom Wart has changed his number for this game to number 12.
And the reason he's doing that is to honor their teammate Austin Box, who passed away in the offseason last May. And each game, one Sooner will wear number 12 that's not Landry Jones. Because remember, that's Landry Jones's number on offense. But another Sooner will wear that, and that person will be selected by Landry Jones and Travis Lewis, All-American defensive, outside linebacker. Tom Wart wearing it tonight to honor Austin Box.
Second down and 8 at the 12-yard line. Jones underneath, caught. And a very good catch by Franks as Arnick drills him. But Trey Franks, the sophomore from Orange, Texas, holds on to the football in heavy traffic.
And coming right at you, folks, you're going to feel it because he catches it and is able to spy the defender coming right at him. Cornelius Arnick able to tuck the ball away, absorb the hit, and keep things moving for Oklahoma.
That's a gain of 6. Third down and 2 now at the 6-yard line. Oklahoma 4 of 8 on third down conversion. Whaley back in the backfield. He's the deep man in the eye. They give it to him straight ahead. Whaley, third touchdown of the day.
Watch the left side of the line. They're going to clear everything this way. The run will start here and cut back that way. Watch. Beautiful job. All the hole. Look at how they caved it in. 75, Tyler Evans. 61, Ben Hayward. 64, Gabe Eichert. Donald Stevenson on the left side. A terrific job up front. The offensive line loving this evening.
Extra point up and good for Jimmy Stevens. 6:56 to play, second quarter. Oklahoma starting to pour it on now. 23-zip. Three touchdowns tonight for Dominique Whaley, making his first game appearance in 3 years. And he has 3 touchdowns. He's a walk-on, no scholarship, and he's got 3 big TDs tonight. Well, let's take a look at the first one.
Following Millard as fullback right into the gut of the defense for a touchdown. Let's try that again. Big offensive line pounding people, just moving them back 3 times. Dominique Whaley takes them into the end zone.
He's just wondering, what do you have to do at Oklahoma to get a scholarship, coach? 3 touchdowns. Do you give the kid a scholarship soon?
Gus, we're giving it to him at halftime.
And right now, Bob Stoops is telling you that those are my scholarships, not yours.
Trey Watts fielding the kickoff at the 4-yard line. And Watts written down. Great looking special teams play. Millard with the tackle on special teams. Now, folks, this November, Fox Sports steps into the octagon with an epic heavyweight title fight as the #1 ranked contender in the world. Junior Dos Santos squares off with undefeated world champion Cain Velasquez in the first in the must-see live mixed martial arts event you can only catch on Fox. Dos Santos Velasquez for the UFC Heavyweight Championship of the World, live Saturday, November 12th on Fox. First down and 10 at the 18. And Jatarian Douglas, no gain on the play as he's driven back. Nice surge by that Oklahoma defensive line. Alexander, McFarland, Ronell Lewis as well.
Greg Peterson, the offensive coordinator and play caller for Tulsa, searching far and wide right now. And we see there Tom Ward wearing Austin Box's number. He normally wears 21, wearing 12 tonight to honor his teammate that passed away and his good friend.
Kenny to Jatarian Douglas. Rolls his shoulder, coughed it up. Now, will they call him down is the question. And there's an injured player on the field.
Here it is, Tom Ward, number 12. Have some collision from inside out on the swing pass to Jatarian Douglas. Watch as he comes upfield. Big hit there by Javon Harris, number 30. Wart from the backside. That ball came out. Okay, I mean, at this point, that's got to be, to me, that's Oklahoma's football. He's nowhere near down when that ball's coming out, in my estimation, just watching it at regular speed.
What a hit by Tom Ward.
Tom Ward
dislodged that football.
And the initial contact was Javon Harris, number 30, who actually spilled him back into Tom Ward inside. From outside, Javon Harris, 30, bang. Inside on the spill, Ward cleans it up and knocks the ball free. That appears to me that this should be Oklahoma's football.
Tom Ward started 9 games at middle linebacker in 2010, second-team freshman, All-American. And Oklahoma fans, they have been informed that it looks like the Sooners will get the football back as Ward gets a lot of attaboys on that OU sideline.
Plays under review, Gus. They're going to take a look at it. That was the cheer from the crowd. Now the upstairs booth buzzed down, said we got to take a look at this play. And now I think Oklahoma will end up with it. And Aaron Colvin comes up with the football. Clearly Oklahoma has the ball if it's ruled that it's a fumble. So watch the hit there. Harris 30, spills it inside, and Ward inside out with a big hit. Blasts the ball free. No doubt. Look at the air underneath Jatarian Douglas. That ball is out of his hands right there. That's got to be Oklahoma's football because Aaron Colvin comes up with the recovery.
All right, let's go to Mike Pereira. Mike, how do you see this play developing, and what do you see as the outcome?
Two things here. I mean, really, it is clear that it's a fumble, but they ruled the play dead, so essentially they blew the whistle. But they'll play through that if they see a clear recovery by Oklahoma. And the fact in that one shot that you see 14 recover the ball, that will give the ball to Oklahoma. Had they not seen that before it goes into a scrum, then they would have had to stay with the down by contact call. But in this case, since there was the clear recovery of the fumble, I think Oklahoma gets the football.
Mike, from your perspective, I mean, from my perspective, there's no doubt that Oklahoma clearly recovered this football. How did you see that?
Yeah, you get that one shot that shows in the replay that you see where 14 really falls on the ball and turns over with possession of the ball. It's this shot right here. And what you want to just do is focus on 14. Now, does he recover? Does he have the ball there? Clearly, he does. So, to me, that's enough to put both pieces together. You saw early, quickly enough to know that it was a fumble. So now you're going to go and with the clear recovery, give the ball.
The ball did come loose before the runner was down. With an immediate recovery by the defense, the ball will belong to Oklahoma on the 27-yard line. Please reset the game clock to 6:14.
All right, as usual, Mike nailed it from our Fox Command Center. Oklahoma was number 6 in the nation in turnover margin at +14 last season. They're +2 tonight with an interception and now a fumble recovery. Jatarian Douglas taking a huge hit from Tom Ward. So that allows the Sooners to line up the offense at the Tulsa 27-yard line, first down.
I wonder if Oklahoma might want to think right here of striking quick with Landry Jones trying to force it downfield to one of his receivers.
Roy Finch is checked into the game for OU, and they give it to the little scat back, gets outside, tries to turn the corner. Ooh, and he's checked down hard at the 20-yard line. Great open field tackle by Justin Skillings.
But look at Oklahoma applying the pressure right back to the line of scrimmage. They give you no chance to breathe, trying to limit your substitutions.
Second down at 4. Here's Finch again, stumbling, and he'll tiptoe out of bounds. Sean Jackson, as well as Tyron Walker there to usher him out of bounds. That's a loss of 2 on the play. Roy Finch missed the first 5 games of his freshman season last year, as well as OU's bowl game, and still finished second on the team in rushing with 398 yards, averaging close to 5 yards per carry and 2 touchdowns.
And Oklahoma substitutes a tailback with Brendan Clay, getting a better pass receiver and a pass protector on the field for this down.
Landry Jones, all day to throw, over the middle, Clay in space, Clay cuts it inside and goes down at the 5. Sean Jackson with the tackle, but Brendan Clay picks up 17. And that makes it first down and goal at the 6.
And get used to it, Oklahoma fans. You're going to see a lot of mixing and matching this year at the running back position. Depends on the situation, depends on what personnel you want in the game. But when you want pass protectors in, Clay would be in the ball game. Dominique Whaley would be in the game. When you want to run it, you might see some other people.
First down and goal at the 6-yard line. Brendan Clay behind Landry Jones. They give it to him. He tries to break it back. Submarines inside. It goes down to the 4. Marco Nelson making the tackle.
And Gus, did you notice the formation Oklahoma was in on that play? That's the pistol. So the reason I pointed out is we try to look ahead in what we do. Next week in Eugene, we get a healthy dose of that with Chris Ault, the inventor of the pistol, bringing his Wolfpack to town.
Second down and goal at the 4. This time, Clay is the single setback, play fake. Jones strong in the pocket to the end zone, incomplete. Intended for Brendan Clay out of the backfield.
After the pistol, they went back to Landry Jones under center. This is an Oklahoma team, back to Bob Stoops' point. We are extremely multiple, he says. We'll run out of gun. We'll run with our quarterback under center. We'll run with a lot of wide receivers. We'll go heavy with a tight end, an H-back, fullback, you name it. And here they are in the red zone again, trying to punch over one more score. Look at this formation. Everyone bunched out here.
Jones fires far side. Touchdown, Ryan Broyles. Landry Jones throwing that one a little behind Broyles, probably designed that way.
Little back shoulder throw. That's what they love to do because it's so hard to defend. But from the alignment, and what they did was they sent 4 receivers to the opposite side to allow Ryan Broyles to work one-on-one against Milton Howell out wide. You know what that formation has its roots in? Archie the Gunslinger Cooley at Mississippi Valley State, when they tried to double and triple Jerry Rice, he came up with that formation, something similar to isolate Rice on the backside where you couldn't double it. Ryan Broyles gets the benefit of that play there.
So is that satellite tot to Jerry Rice?
That was Willie satellite tot to Jerry Rice, and you're not going to keep doubling and tripling my man. The Gunslinger came up with a way, and other teams have adopted since then.
What a big game for Ryan Broyles. We understand why he is a Biletnikoff Award finalist a year ago, candidate this year. 9 catches, 138 yards, and we're still in the first half.
And right now, that Sooner Schooner has been running a lot in the first half in this kind of heat. Boomer and Sooner driving the Schooner. They might just need a little break themselves at the half.
All right, let's take a look at the Russell Athletic game summary.
Well, what it's been is Oklahoma starting to impose their will after the first couple of series, and Dominique Whaley getting it done. How about Ryan Broyles with a terrific stretch catch at 5'10". And once again, the big guys love this. Let's pound it, coach. You've been on our case all off season. Let's keep it on the ground, and then the defense gets into the act. Javon Harris, Tom Wart combined, Aaron Colvin with the recovery, and Ryan Broyles working one-on-one for the payoff.
Whaley 3 touchdowns in the first half. OU 303 yards in total offense. Freeman Kelly back deep to return for the Tulsa Golden Hurricane. Here's Kelly at the 7. Still on his feet. And Kelly piled up, dragged down to the 25. And let's join Coach Brewster on the sideline.
Bob Stoops sends a great message to his team. His best players are going to play in the kicking game. You see Trey Millard there. You see Tom Wart there. Okay, their best players are out there playing in the kicking game. Sends a great message, guys.
That's another big part of the game, isn't it, Coach? I mean, it's a huge phase. We talk about 1/3, but how many games have turned on a kick play, and you want your better players on the field to affect that change.
Absolutely huge. Ronell Lewis is out there too, man.
All right, first down and 10 for Tulsa. Kenny will keep it himself. And he gets to the 28, maybe the 29-yard line. Gaining a couple. R.J. Washington with the tackle. I'd like to ask Coach Brewster a question. Coach, can I ask you a question? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can, Gus.
What do you tell your team? Where is your head right now? Down 30 zip as you take on the #1 team in the nation. What are you playing for right now?
Let's take a look at this play right here, Gus.
And here's a handoff. Watts running, and he gets to the 40-yard line.
The message, Gus, here is the offense has got to stay on the field. Right now, you got a tired Tulsa defense. They've got to find a way to string together a couple of first downs and give their defense a break.
And, Coach, I think one of the ways they're going to have to do it is what we just saw there, a little more of the quick hitters on the run game. Not much of the lateral stuff. Oklahoma runs that down. They've got to be more at them instead of away from them.
I think you're 100% right. Oklahoma's way too athletic to go laterally against them. You got to go downhill.
Frank Alexander with the tackle. Trey Watts running the football. Coach Bill Blankenship, and what a tough week it's been with the suspension, the indefinite suspension of Damaris. And wide open, nice catch. Burnham down the sideline, cuts it inside. Burnham sprinting to the end zone, touchdown Tulsa. 56 yards, and that may get him going. Brian Burnham.
Okay, watch Jamel Fleming, 32. He's looking inside. Is he going to blitz the quarterback? That means someone's got to go out and cover Burnham, and they're way too late in trying to get into coverage. That's a bust in the secondary, and then Burnham takes it and finishes it off with the cut inside and the dive for the end zone.
Kevin Fitzpatrick comes in to attempt the extra point with 2:54 to play. In the first half, it's up and good, and Tulsa at the 2:54 mark, finally getting on the board, and that should give them a nice bit of motivation as they head into the locker room for halftime. And don't forget, folks, coming up at the half, it's the Geico halftime show with Kevin Frazier and Marcus Allen. They'll have the latest from number 3 Oregon taking on number 4 LSU, and number 7 Boise taking on number 22 Georgia.
So there's Brent Venables, the defensive coordinator, co-defense coordinator with Bobby Jack Wright, talking with Corey Nelson. Quite sure is about that last coverage. Were they in the right defense? Who was responsible? Because if the corner's coming off of the short corner from this hash mark, from the boundary side, someone has to rotate out to be in the area where the receiver is going to go. I mean, Coach, when Fleming came in from the boundary side, there's got to be someone at least have a presence out there. There was no one.
That's exactly right. They brought the corner, weak side corner fire, Charles, and Harris, the safety, just did not get over the top.
And then once he did, he rotated too far, and that's when Burnham was able to cut inside and make the big run for the end zone.
Yeah, Coach Stoops was having a conversation with Harris as he came off the field.
I'm quite sure it was one of those really pleasant conversations coaches like to have after they give up a touchdown.
So ready to send it away, Kevin Fitzpatrick, Trey Franks, Brennan Clay back deep. This one in the end zone, and Franks will take a knee. And we'd like to welcome the men and women in uniform serving around the world, watching tonight's broadcast in 175 countries on AFN, the American Forces Network. Thanks for all you do, and we hope you're enjoying today's broadcast.
Without a doubt, so many people dedicated. I think it's hard to find a family that's not involved or doesn't have people that are involved in our armed forces. I look at my family, my wife's side of the family. Her uncle was a Marine, son a Marine, still serving. So my best to everyone out there.
Oklahoma with the football now. First down and 10 at the 20-yard line. Andrew Jones has been almost perfect here in this first half. He dumps it off. And nice running after the catch by Ryan Broyles. Broyles will pick up 3 yards on the play. 3 the hard way.
Thinking 2 things on this drive, guys. With 2:30 and ticking now, Oklahoma, I think, wants one another score before the half. And the second part is you get to work on your 2-minute offense in a situation when you're up 30-7.
Second down and 7. Finch with room. Roy Finch gets outside. May have had his face mask grabbed. He gains 12 on the play. Milton Howell with the tackle and the face mask.
Personal foul, grabbing the face mask. Number 19 of the defense. 15-yard penalty. First down.
And that's Milton Howell giving the face mask a tug, and you got to let it go. And that will make it first down and 10 at midfield for OU.
Remember how they cleaned up that rule too, Gus. Even if you grab it and let it go, it still goes down as a face mask. It's no longer a 5 and a 15, just 1 penalty.
Here's the reverse. And it's Finch. Finch chopped down by Sean Jackson. And he'll pick up 3 yards on the play.
All in all, I thought that was played well by the Tulsa defense. Yeah, I like the pursuit, understood what was coming back at them, even with the big guys out in front leading, able to get inside and stop the play for minimal gain.
Second down and 7 at the 47, 1:29 remaining. Landry Jones over the middle, and it's caught by Austin Haywood, third-string tight end, sophomore from Moore, Oklahoma. Arnick with the tackle.
Did you say third-string tight end?
Third-string tight end.
Okay, how many places would you think he'd start?
everywhere.
He was a kid that had to grow up. Wasn't very mature last year. He's figuring it out now.
And Jones over the middle, and he finds Haywood once again. It's Arnick in on the play. A minute to go and counting in the first half.
See, up 30-7, it gives Oklahoma a chance to really operate and work on the 2-minute stuff that they may need at another time, trying to get one more score before the half.
Jones pump fake underneath. Here's Franks. He can run. And Trey Franks hits the football deep into Tulsa territory. That's a 21-yard gain. Franks and Oklahoma quickly back to the line of scrimmage. And a whistle.
Notice how quickly they just jump back into play after a big play. When they make a nice play downfield, when they have an explosive 10, 15-yard gain, they're right back at you.
Especially when they know they're going to get the ball.
Illegal substitution against the defense. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
See, what happened there is that Oklahoma went so quick that Tulsa, in trying to substitute, couldn't get it done in the proper way.
Will the clock operator please reset the clock to 27 seconds?
There's defensive coordinator Brent Guy, who's done a fantastic job coordinating defenses across this country, former head coach at Utah State, trying to mix and match personnel with Oklahoma's and trying to get guys on the field to do that. On that play, Oklahoma was so fast. That was NASCAR speed. And you just had no chance to match up.
First down at 5 now at the 9-yard line. 37 seconds remaining in the first half. Oklahoma has gotten up and down the field.
And Broyles is in the slot to the top there, Gus.
Jones looks that way now. Underneath, Franks dives, lost it. Whose ball? Looks like Tulsa has it. And the Golden Hurricane catch a major break at the end of the first half. Marco Nelson with the fumble recovery. Trey Franks going after extra yardage, loses the football.
And watch as he turns inside. This is where hustle helps you, because Tulsa hasn't given up. An excellent hit coming over the top. Was that Milton Howell?
Certainly was.
Number 19. So there's Arnick right there, still extending, not down at all. The arm would be the key play, the key part of it there. I think that he knocked it free before the arm got down. Let's take a look again. Franks searching for the extra yardage. Arm still up. Hit. Timing is close. It would have to be indisputable evidence. I think it's Tulsa's football.
Kinney in his own end zone hands it off to Trey Watts. And Watts goes forward. Frank Alexander brings him down with 19 seconds to go.
I would guess going into the half, Bob Stoops pretty pleased overall, but does not like the last couple of series. The bust on defense, they gave up the touchdown pass to Burnham, and then Watts, with a chance to get another score, gets the ball knocked free near the goal line.
He's got to be happy his team dominating offensively. 361 yards in total offense in the first half for Bob Stoops and the #1 ranked Oklahoma Sooners, who head into the locker room leading Tulsa 30-7. Now let's go to Coach Brewster on the sideline.
Outstanding three-phase effort in the first half, Coach. Talk about your team's ability to run the football.
Yeah, it's making a big difference. It opens up play-action passing, and then you start to get some different looks in the secondary when you're running it well, so hopefully we can continue.
Coach, you're up 30-7 right now. What's your message for the second half to your football team?
Just to keep playing ball. You know, we had the one breakdown. We played great defense, and one guy gets the wrong signal, takes it the wrong way, and we give up an easy touchdown. So,
thanks a lot, Coach.
All right.
All right, thank you very much. It's halftime here in Norman with the score Oklahoma 30, Tulsa 7. We'll send you to Kevin Frazier and Marcus Allen in L.A. for the Geico halftime show after these messages. And welcome back to Owen Field at Memorial Stadium here in Norman, Oklahoma, where the consensus #1 team in the nation, the Oklahoma Sooners, lead the Tulsa Golden Hurricane 30-7 at halftime. Gus Johnson along with Charles Davis. And CD, when you look at this Oklahoma team, all that they say is true. They get to the line of scrimmage, they have multiple weapons, and they can dominate you when they want.
You talk about playing fast. 59 plays Oklahoma ran in the first half to 30 for Tulsa. They dominated time of possession, which sometimes means something, sometimes it doesn't. Today it does because it wears people down in the heat. And just the way they executed. Pass game, run game. But more importantly for them, the run game. Over 100 yards in the first half. And they were able to absolutely decimate Tulsa inside the 5-yard line, pounding the football into the end zone.
And Dominique Whaley with the 3 rushing touchdowns for the walk-on player, as our coach Tim Brewster said he may have received a scholarship at halftime for that kind of performance.
If Coach Brew was awarding them, he'd already signed the papers at the half.
No doubt about it. And our coach Brewster is still working the sideline. We will bring him in to get his thoughts of the first half and foreshadowing of the second half when we kick the ball off. So Tulsa will receive to start the second half. After scoring the long touchdown, Brian Burnham with the 56-yard touchdown from G.J. Kinney. Good thing for the Golden Hurricane is that they will get the ball back. Freeman Kelly brings it out of his own end zone. And Kelly still running, trying to get to the 20-yard line. And Kelly wrestled down Millard there, as well as Hurst. All right, let's join Coach Brew on the sideline. Coach, your impressions of the first half and what's going to happen in this second half.
I talked to Coach Blankenship coming out at the half. Coach knows that he's got to do a better job on third down. He's got a tired defensive football team. They've got to convert some third downs.
First down and 10 to the 19. For Tulsa, Trey Watts in the backfield. Here's Kinney running. And Kinney cuts it inside. Nice move, and he gets the first down. Ronell Lewis makes the tackle. But G.J. Kinney, who led this team in rushing last year with close to 600 yards of rushing. You know, talk about people that he reminds you of. He reminds me of Steve Young at BYU. As Watts runs the ball. And Watts stopped by Javon Harris.
I like that comparison. Because of the style of play, a thicker built runner. Now, he wasn't as fast as Steve. I mean, Steve was probably a sub-4 540 guy in college. But you take a look at the first half stats, to Coach Brewster's point, they were just 2 of 6 on third downs in the first half. And that's a big reason why, because they're back behind the chains again. Now you're second and long.
And Trey Watts, tackle for a loss. Ronell Lewis. We'll take a look at G.J. Kinney. He's got a nice frame on him. We saw him in the hotel. We're staying at the same hotel as the Golden Hurricane. And kids are nice kids, disciplined, you know, and having a chance to talk to G.J. He's got a terrific smile. 3rd and 14 at the 27. Trey Watts in the backfield. Here's G.J. Kinney stepping up in the pocket. He may run it, pulls it down. No, he throws it, and it is incomplete. Ball intended for Thomas Robertson.
Watch as Kinney starts out in the pocket, but watch how he moves, keeping his eyes downfield. He keeps the play alive. Notice the head never ducks, so he would take off and run, and has an opportunity to sling it downfield for Robertson, his wide receiver, who's unable to come down in bounds due to the pressure from Jamel Fleming. But I really do like that comparison, Gus. I can't get out of my head now. The Steve Young, the thick-built, tough, gritty guy who can get things done for him with talent.
That's right, Cole Way. This one off the side of his foot takes a Tulsa bounce. It will be downed at the 35. A 38-yard punt for Cole Way. And we'll stay right here as Landry Jones comes back onto the field. Landry putting up great numbers in the first half. 24 of 33, 255, a touchdown, no picks, and he was not touched. No sacks by the Golden Hurricane in that first half.
Gus, we're going to run this first play. and I'm going to see what Coach Brewster has to say, but I would think that Bob Stoops' message to his offense at halftime was no let up. We're not going to get sloppy now in the second half because we were so strong in the first one. Let's build on this first half, and he still wants to see the same type of execution. Coach Brew, you never want me giving your team a halftime speech, but would I be close?
You were exactly right, Charles. Again, it was about being physical. He was really pleased with OU's ability to run the football in the first half, and he's going to keep the pedal to the metal here in the second.
Millard with the carry on first down, gained 6, 2nd and 4. At the 44-yard line, Brennan Clay. And Brennan Clay picks up the first down. Sean Jackson wrestles him down, and Clay in the first half, 11 carries, 47 yards. Whaley, 11 carries, 40 yards, and 3 scores.
And actually, this half, to me, is an opportunity to put this offensive line into some stressful situations and see how they respond.
Miller catching the ball out of the backfield.
And what I mean by that is run it, as Coach Brewster talked about. I know James Patton, the offensive line coach, would like to do that. It's almost like working when you work that inside drill and you throw an extra defender in there and say, you may have to block an extra defender during the season. Let's work on it now. Tonight might be the night you run the ball on 3rd and 5 instead of throwing it. It's here in the second half.
2nd and 5 at the 46. Jones sets up a screen. And he has Millard, the fullback. And Miller picks up the first down as he is tackled at the 35 by Buford. But it's a gain of 11 on the play.
I think we understand why the coaches gush about Millard.
And they certainly gush about this kid.
And every time they talk about him, they're always talking about, and there's so much more to come with this guy. I mean, he's just a load, and that's his nickname, the load. A load, a force, whatever you want, but how about those soft hands?
6'2", 249 sophomore. And Jones will run it himself now. And Landry Jones will walk out of bounds at the 32.
That was supposed to be a reverse. And Tyron Walker, the defensive end for Tulsa, actually blew that play up. And Landry Jones was smart enough to see it and fortunate enough to see it. Watch, the action's supposed to come back this way. But see, Jones, now he sees Tyron Walker. He would have handed it off to him. Tucked it around, tucked it underneath, and got what he could out of it. Good play by Walker, but nice recognition by Landry Jones.
2nd down and 8 at the 33. Jones steps into his throw. Nicely done. Broyles turns it up and gets out of bounds at the 19-yard line in front of Dexter McCoyle. What makes Ryan Broyles such a great receiver?
Well, there are a couple things that go along with it, Gus. Number one, he is competitive to the end of the day. He competes for the football. We saw it in the first half on that great stretch catch on the 50-yard gain. Second part is he runs very disciplined routes, understands the offense, and has a great sense of space. Never runs into the routes of other receivers and adjusts when he needs to help out his quarterback.
10 catches, 142 yards, and a touchdown. They throw it into the flats. Here's Clay. Nice catch on the run. Dives forward. Marco Nelson gets him by the ankle, but he's close to another first down. And when you look at those numbers in the first half, Charles, 10 catches, 142 yards, and a touchdown. I feel like I'm watching a video game.
Yeah, and now they're
gaudy numbers.
Those numbers are beyond the pale, aren't they?
No doubt about it. And into the end zone. Brennan Clay around the corner, 11-yard touchdown. And Oklahoma just wearing down the Golden Hurricane now, up big on their home field.
This is a do-what-you-feel-like type of a drive. Big guys here. Miller, 33, going to help lead. And look, everyone is married up on someone. Everyone has a man. And then at that point, Clay just sprints to the end zone.
So end of the game, Jimmy Stevens, who has missed one extra point this evening, gets this one up and good. And Oklahoma taking a 37-7 lead. Sooners running the rock right at Tulsa, and they're up big. The FX Game of the Week is brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% on more on car insurance. And by Chrysler, imported from Detroit. I like that commercial.
I know you do.
I like that commercial.
Where's that hometown again?
The Motor City.
There you go.
Landry Jones.
So when Thomas Hearns was riding high,
oh man, the Hitman.
Did you like it better as the Hitman,
the Cobra,
or did you like the Motor City Cobra?
The Motor City.
That's what I
Hitman.
thought.
Yeah, Cobra. We like them both.
We like them both.
37-7 right now. Tulsa trailing Oklahoma and ready to send it away. Patrick O'Hara and Marco Nelson back deep. Marco Nelson allows this one to go over his head and out of bounds. Patrick O'Hara, the junior from Topeka, Kansas, known to have a very strong leg. And don't forget, our 1st and 10 line is brought to you by Russell Athletic. You got to be impressed tonight, Charles, with the way the running backs have played for OU. They have all had a chance to get spot duty, and they've shared the ball, and it's been a very successful time for them.
And so far, we still have not seen the freshman that I think a lot of people wanted to see tonight in Brandon Williams.
1st down and 10 at the 20-yard line. Kinney fires outside, ball caught. James gets to the sideline, out of bounds. He'll pick up a few.
Understand, I am not laughing at. I am marveling at the speed of Oklahoma. See, I'm not laughing at Tulsa on this play. But that ball on the fake inside and the swing outside, Aaron Colvin showed so quickly. That play was essentially dead right from the beginning.
Kinney, straight drop, goes up top, has a receiver open. Carter down the sideline, cuts it across. Carter sprinting, looking for a lane, and he goes down at the 9. Willie Carter, gain of 69. That's the wheel route that Oklahoma has been practicing to defend all week long.
Carter to here and up. All right, see him get to the flat, turns it, just as you called it, Gus, the wheel. And Javon Harris got caught with his eyes in the backfield. He did not take his eyes to the receiver as instructed. He looked back in the backfield, and that's when Carter went upfield and up top and caught the pass.
1st down and goal at the 9-yard line. Trey Watts lines up next to Kinney. They fire. Caught. James lost it. Who picked it up? Looks like Burnham dove on the football and may have it. Brian Burnham.
Still discussing. I haven't seen a signal yet from the officials. I'm like you, Gus. I thought Burnham had gotten the football. Let's see.
Ryan Burnham already with the touchdown.
Pulling on the field is a fumble with a recovery by the defense. 1st down on the 1-yard line.
So right now, you know what's happening is that the review guys are really looking at it. We'll do the same. This was a play that was snuffed out earlier. And right away, and the big hit right there knocks it free. Now, who's got the football? That's the tough part. Because the hit came and knocked it out. So it looked like DeMontre Hurst with the hit that knocked the ball free. And Oklahoma's running out on offense, and Tulsa's hoping the review comes out a little bit different. There's Hurst right there, textbook tackle, knocks the ball free. And it looked like Burnham had come up with it, but underneath the pile, Oklahoma wrestles it out.
So the Sooners take over at their own 2-yard line.
See if these big guys ask the coach if they can just wedge it out from the goal line with the running back.
Hand it off to Whaley, straight ahead. And he'll give Oklahoma some breathing room as he gets close to the 6-yard line. 3 first-half touchdowns for Whaley. Derek Jackson making the tackle for Tulsa.
See, that quick inside fake and pass to the flat is not a play that's going to work very well for Tulsa because of the speed and quickness on the perimeter of Oklahoma's defenders.
2nd and 7 at the 5. Whaley again. Helmets flying. Tyron Walker with the tackle. And we talk about the backs at Oklahoma. It's been a carousel tonight. And all of them that have had an opportunity to play have done a good job.
Each one of them fulfilling his role and maximizing while they're out on the field. I mean, so far tonight, we've seen Brendan Clay, Dominique Whaley, Roy Finch, all have an opportunity. And don't forget Trey Millard, number 33, the big fullback slash H-back slash tight end.
They're down at 3. Broyles with the catch, first down, and he gets out of bounds. Let's take a look at what some of the backs have done this evening for the Oklahoma Sooners.
As you talked about, Gus, there's Whaley, the walk-on from Langston. And then look at Roy Finch, 22. Brennan Clay, number 3, getting his. And we're back to live action. And that's Ryan Broyles, who runs like a running back when the ball's in his hands after a catch.
And when you talk about running backs, there's no other place, I think, in America, aside from maybe the University of Southern California, that has had as many legendary running backs. Joe Washington here at Oklahoma, Billy Sims, Adrian Peterson, Steve Owens.
We could go on and on and on.
Billy Vessels.
Billy Vessels, a Heisman Trophy winner. Think about this. Elvis Peacock was a great player here.
Greg Pruitt.
Spencer Tillman.
Lydell Carr.
I mean, we're just gonna keep matching.
Don't you get excited?
Don't forget George Buster Rhymes. I mean, we could go on all day.
All right, that brings up 2nd down and 10 at the 17. Landry Jones. And Jones with time over the middle. And it's caught. And finally, James Hanna with the catch. First catch of the evening, the senior.
And it wasn't a touchdown. What was that stat that you and Coach Brew gave earlier? 18 catches last year, 7 of them for touchdowns. It's a pretty good percentage.
Season is early.
And how about the 76-yarder he had against Oklahoma State last year, where they were trying to catch him, and they weren't gaining any ground on the big fella. They say he runs around a 4.5, maybe sub 4.5 40. He looked it on that play last season.
3rd down and 5 at the 22. OU 8 of 12 on 3rd down conversions this evening. Andrew Jones to the sideline. Caught. Trey Franks, nice move. Gets to the 40. Maybe the 42, gains 19 on the play.
And Gus, just think, Kenny Stills did not play tonight, who's normally the starter out wide with Ryan Broyles. So now you add him back into the lineup, expected back next week. You are loaded at the wide receiver position.
Jones going for the home run. Incomplete. Trey Franks, the intended receiver, the sprinter. And he will come off the field limping a bit. He may be cramping up. Looks like that right calf is locked up on him.
And Oklahoma's going with 2 backs in the backfield that are, and one of them's not a fullback. They brought Finch in, number 22, and he'll go into the slot right here with Clay back here as the running back. The versatility of these backs to get you to different formations only bodes well for Oklahoma during this season.
2nd down and 10 at the 41. And the Sooners find Broyles once again, and he's stopped by Justin Skillins. This drive starting at the Oklahoma 2-yard line. Landry Jones has him at the 45 now. I love his poise. Maybe not the most athletic quarterback, but he's mentally at such a great level. He knows where everybody's supposed to be at all times. He can put that ball on him. There's Jones underneath. And they'll get close to the 1st down. We will see Ryan Broyles with yet another catch. Skillins brings him down once again.
And Gus, you've seen so many quarterbacks play over the years, and not necessarily the best guys you've ever seen. Would you call the most athletic? Tom Brady's 40-yard dash before the combine, before his draft when he went in the 6th round. If you just watch that, there's no way you even think about drafting him if you're just saying, I want an athletic guy. How's that worked out? Right. Peyton Manning's not going to beat you in a foot race, but the steps he takes in the pocket and the slide moves that he does to get free to throw the football, that looks like ballet in those big shoes of his.
Tressway sends it away. Marco Nelson lets it go over his head, and it's down inside the 5. 5:41 to play third quarter. 45-yard punt by Tress Way. So the Hurricane will start inside their own 5.
American Horror Story premieres Wednesday, October 5th at 10, only on FX.
Oklahoma with a 37-7 lead over Tulsa. 5:41 to play here in the third quarter. From Norman, first down and 10 at the 5 for Tulsa. And they hand it off. Trey Watts. And he'll get close to the 10-yard line. Let's bring in Coach Tim Brewster. And, you know, Coach Brew, without Damaris Johnson, this is a totally different Tulsa squad.
There's no question, Gus. The nation's not getting a chance to see one of the most electrifying players tonight.
Second down and 6 at the 9. And why does it hurt him so much, Coach Brew?
Gus, he's the one guy that Tulsa has that can separate from the OU defenders.
Right to the snap. False start. Number 72, the offense. Half the distance to the goal. Remains second down.
He does a great job of creating space for himself. Great trust with G.J. Kinney. I just can't even tell you how big it is that he's not playing for Tulsa tonight.
And Coach, I think it's even bigger in the kick return game because those are places that you can make big chunks of yardage. And remember, Oklahoma gave up 4 kickoff returns for touchdowns last season.
Second down, 10 at the 5. Kinney will keep it himself. Gets outside and goes down as Fleming chops him down at the 11-yard line. Talk about a player. Jamel Fleming. Big, strong corner, runs a 4.3, can play the bump and run. And he had an incredible Fiesta Bowl last year.
Incredible season. 19 passes broken up, second in the NCAA. Was out of school in the spring due to academics, but did not get lazy. He was at home working out with his brother-in-law, who's a personal trainer, reported back here in as good a shape as the guys who stayed on campus.
Kinney running it again. So right now, as Kinney stopped by Gabe Lynn, Tulsa just really falling flat. And you can see the kids are starting to get a little frustrated in that Tulsa offensive huddle.
And the hard part is, in their run game, they don't have that guy, Gus, who's the flash. You know, Jatarian Douglas is supposed to be their home run hitter, but he's not going to be quicker or faster than any of the Oklahoma defenders. So even when a hole breaks open, it doesn't go as far as it should.
Cole Way sends this one off, and Royals takes major steps forward and has the football at the Tulsa 37-yard line. That's a 29-yard punt. (37-7) Oklahoma with the lead. 3:35 to play here in the third quarter. Our first and 10 line is brought to you by Russell Athletic.
All right, Gus and Coach, I'm just going to pop it out here right now. Tell me what you think. I don't hesitate myself. I want to see another quarterback for Oklahoma. And I'm not saying it for any other reason other than Drew Allen, Blake Bell. This wouldn't be a bad time to get them a little bit of experience and get Landry Jones out. I want him ready for Florida State. I don't want anything to go wrong.
Charles, I think this will be Landry Jones' last series.
Here's a handoff to Whaley, running left. And Whaley really showed his coaches a lot in the spring game when he rushed for 70 yards and turned a lot of heads. And when you look at what's happening now, they saw that flash from him, and it's really paying off for this Sooner program. Second down and 3 at the 32. Whaley with 3 touchdowns in this game, all coming in the first half. Handoff, running right. Nice stiff arm, keeps his feet moving. Whaley down the sideline. Touchdown! 32 yards. The walk-on. 4 touchdowns. If that doesn't get him a scholarship on Monday, nothing will.
It was nice about this run as it comes right at you. Nice block by Miller, 33, but he shakes the first tackle by Alan Dock. And then he escapes a second attempt by Sean Jackson, and then goes into the end zone before Milton Howell can push him out of bounds. He showed everything on that play. Vision, strength, breaking tackles, a little bit of speed, and a dash of elusiveness. How many touchdowns is that again? 4. That's not a night. That's most of a season.
That is. Michael Honeycutt with the extra point. And look at the teammates congratulating Dominique Whaley. What a job he's done this evening. Now don't forget, next Saturday on the FX Game of the Week will be in Eugene, Oregon, where the 3rd-ranked Oregon Ducks host the upset-minded Nevada Wolfpack. The FX College Football Game of the Week, presented by Russell Athletic, begins next Saturday at 3:30 p.m. Eastern, 12:30 p.m. Pacific, in high definition only on FX.
Remember, Nevada won 12 games last year. 12 or 13. I lose track because you get those extras in, but that was a heck of a year that they had. And put a lot of talented guys out up to their next level, including their quarterback, Colin, the Transformer, Kaepernick.
We had a chance to go to Reno and watch Coach Alt's team practice, and they look fired up. Not playing week 1, so next week will be their first game of the season, and Oregon will be playing their second. So Oklahoma, Patrick O'Hara will send it away. Freeman Kelly, the deep man. For Tulsa. And Kelly from the 7. And Freeman Kelly up to the 25 before being wrestled down. Now let's go to Kevin Frazier in Los Angeles for a game break.
Gus, number 4 LSU starting to take control against number 3 Oregon. Marcus, what's going on?
Speed versus power. Power wins.
It does every time. Michael Ford, the touchdown, and Spencer Ware, that one to cash it in. This one's getting a little out of control. 30-13, team from the SEC rolling. Gus.
All right, Kevin, well, you know the SEC, arguably the best conference in the country.
And that's without their starting quarterback, Jordan Jefferson.
On first down, Tulsa throwing the ball, and that's caught by Clay Sears, their senior tight end. Gains 10 on the play.
Clay Sears is a guy that's really developed during his time at Tulsa. Went there as a walk-on. He's supposed to play quarterback. They moved him out to wide receiver, and as he got bigger and stronger, able to move him to the tight end position. Not a terrific blow-him-up blocker on the line of scrimmage, but runs nice routes and catches the ball.
Kane. And he'll go down at the line of scrimmage. Unable to pick up the first down. Aaron Colvin, the strong safety, makes a tackle. Converted corner.
You know what good teams really do well is miss tackles. And you know it sounds counterintuitive, right? But they miss them to the right places. That was a missed tackle by Tony Jefferson, but he spilled it to where? 3 other red-shirted defenders, nowhere to go for G.J. Kinney.
3rd down and 1 at the 34 for Kinney. Quarterback sneak, and he'll pick up the first down.
He almost came out of that pack, didn't he?
Certainly did.
You mentioned it before, Gus, about how thick-bodied he is. So when he runs a quarterback sneak, he's not just, hoping the pile moves. He's going to move the pile himself, and came very close to stepping through the gap and maybe making it a bigger gain. I like his moxie. He's had a hard night tonight, but I've seen no letdown in intensity from G.J. Kinney.
First down and 10 at the 38. Kinney just dumping this ball. And remember, this Tulsa team, although they were very successful last season, especially on offense with that 10-3 record, their coach leaving, Todd Graham heading to Pitt, his coordinator leaving as well. So new head coach, new coordinators. It may take some time for this Tulsa team to adapt to Coach Blankenship's philosophy. Underneath, incomplete.
And even worse for them is the schedule, because after Oklahoma, they get to play for the rest of the so-called state championship of Oklahoma. They've got to play Oklahoma State. They still have to play Boise State. I mean, just getting started that way, not easy. I mean, they play 3 of the top 10 teams, they play 3 top 10 teams in the first month. And the only other school that's doing that is Arizona out of the Pac-12. Oklahoma, Oklahoma State, and then Boise State.
Kenny rolling out of the pocket, looking, picks up the first down and gets down at midfield, actually inside Oklahoma territory. That's a gain of 13 on 3rd down and 10.
And how about G.J. Kinney? Because here's one thing to keep in mind. When he was a junior and the recruiting process had started, guys, he came here on a visit to Oklahoma unofficially, and all they talked about him being here was a linebacker. He wanted to go someplace and play quarterback.
Kinney actually transferred from the University of Texas. Wanted to get an opportunity to play. Didn't want to sit behind Colt McCoy. Great decision. Conference USA Offensive Player of the Year last year. 31 TDs, only 10 interceptions.
Hard going tonight, isn't it?
Yeah, tough one. He's missing his Robin, Damaris Johnson. Here's a screen pass. Watts breaks it across the field. Nicely done as he picks up the first down. And that'll take us to the end of the 3rd quarter. A gain of 13 for Trey Watts.
Yeah, they'll probably get another one going here, Gus, just because the clock stops on first downs. So 19 seconds where they stop the clock. Now it's running again, but after they set the chains. So they'll probably get at least one more in here before the quarter's over.
First down. Kinney hands it off. Watts popping. And McFarland in on the tackle along with Alexander. And that's the end of the 3rd quarter. Oklahoma rolling 44-7. Back to Norman after this. Welcome back. Owen Field at Memorial Stadium. How about this kid? Score is 44-7. Dominique Whaley becomes the first walk-on player in Oklahoma history to score 4 touchdowns. A historic night for Whaley. 15 carries, 85 yards, 4 touchdowns for the transfer from Langston. What a wonderful story.
So do we need to go to Langston and just ask a couple of questions? Because everything I've read and heard, he was the backup.
3rd down and 7 at the 34. Kinney. Oh, he's chased down hard. Wonderful job. R.J. Washington. Hopped on Kinney's back and drove him to the ground.
From the bottom of your screen, works against the back, just goes past Trey Watts. And King from the other side had forced Kinney up in the pocket. And look at how R.J. Washington just closed on the play and brought down G.J. Kinney.
4th down and 11. So the Golden Hurricane will punt. Cole Way. High in the air. And it's caught at the 2-yard line, a 36-yard punt. Look at the pursuit by the Oklahoma Sooners. Ball players. Oklahoma with a 44-7 lead over Tulsa, and the great views from just above the field come from the Chase Action Cam. Gus Johnson, Charles Davis, Coach Tim Brewster with you from Norman. Landry Jones remains in the game as we start the 4th quarter. Right now he's 33 of 43 for 334 yards and a touchdown. This drive starting at the 1-yard line. And I'd be interested into knowing what you guys think about Landry Jones remaining in the game.
I'll start with that, Gus. I wanted to see him come out the last series because I wanted to see those guys get some work while they're in good situations. I think the reason he's not coming out now was where the ball was. I don't think that Coach Stoops and Josh Heupel want to put a cold quarterback in inside their own 2-yard line. Keep the veteran out there and try and get them out of a bad situation.
And they hand it off once again, and this time it's Whaley. And Whaley has been a star this evening, +9 on that carry. Quick snap. Whaley again, this time running right. Watch out, down the sideline. And Whaley bottled up and taken down by Dexter McCoyle. A 36-yard gain.
Gus and Charles, I felt like Coach Stoops wanted to give his first offense one more series. He told him, we'll give it to you one more time, guys.
And Whaley, 18 carries, 131 yards, 4 touchdowns for the walk-on. Play action. Jones fires, caught, watch out. This time it's Hannah. And the tight end all the way down to the Tulsa 14-yard line. That's a gain of 41 on the play. Marco Nelson and Milton Howell with the tackles.
And it's 44-7, but that doesn't change their tempo. Remember what we've noticed about Oklahoma. Big play, they up the tempo. They come right at you quickly while you're still down after a bad play.
Back-to-back plays of 36 and 41 yards. Brennan Clay in the game, and he gets the football and is stopped immediately. Arnick, the middle linebacker, with the tackle. I mean, if you think about it, Oklahoma will have next week off and then a huge game against Florida State. So here's an opportunity for the first-team offense to get some work in after beating up on each other all of training camp.
It makes perfect sense. I totally get it. My big vision is I want to make sure I have a very healthy number 12 going to Tallahassee with me. That's the only worry that would go through my head.
2nd down and 9. And this one knocked away. Great defense that time by Joe Ratliff.
I know he's a big, strong, tough guy. I'd probably bubble wrap Landry Jones between now and we get to and the team gets to Tallahassee. And I'd pop him out there and turn him loose.
What do you see when you look at that Florida State team? A lot of people think that they could compete for a national championship this year.
I think they ought to start thinking ACC championship and then set their sights a little higher. But they're feeling very good about themselves. It ought to be a heck of a game.
In the end zone, that one intended for Trey Franks, young quarterback down there.
E.J. Manuel. And the thing that Oklahoma keeps in mind is mobile quarterbacks. To give Oklahoma some trouble, really mobile. G.J. Kinney is kind of like that. But E.J. Manuel a lot quicker, a lot faster. He's not as powerful because G.J. Kinney's like a tank running the football. But that's what they worry about, those fluid quarterbacks who can break, contain, and get outside the pocket and make big plays when things become a scramble drill in the secondary. Oklahoma hammered them last year. Florida State, I don't think, is planning on that happening a second time.
Michael Honeycutt comes in to attempt a field goal, this one from 27 yards away. And that one up and good. Looks like the hold was bobbled, but Honeycutt adjusted. 50-7, OU. (47-7). Oklahoma with the lead, 11:52 to play here in the 4th quarter. And Sooner Nation having a good time on opening day. Sooners ready to kick it away. Patrick O'Hara will send it to Freeman Kelly. Freeman Kelly over to the far sideline, catches it, and starts up the right side. Spins and goes down to the 30-yard line. Ronell Lewis with the tackle on special teams. Now let's go to Los Angeles, where Kevin Frazier is standing by for a game break.
Gus, number 24, Texas, take it on Rice, and they bust out the Wildcat. Fonzie Whitaker, the touchdown. Longhorns in control. Meanwhile, Boise State putting on a show, up 35-20. Kellen Moore been fantastic, 25 of 30 for 231 yards. Charles, the hot seat has been turned up on Mark Richt.
Kevin, this game with South Carolina, and I hate to put it this way, but now becomes a referendum on Mark Richt, and it's unfortunate because of his overall record, but that's where he is right now.
Great throw down the sideline, Willie Carter. And Carter has had a great game, 42-yard gain as Kenny throws a strike.
And he's assumed the role that Charles Clay had last year for Tulsa. That fullback, H-back guy who can get out of the backfield and catch the ball. Charles Clay now with the Miami Dolphins. Willie Carter jumping into his stead.
Defense, this is their first of the second half.
Carter, 4 catches, 91 yards for the H-back.
Hey, Gus and Coach, this timeout by Oklahoma, you know what it feels like to me? It feels like an attention-getter timeout. You know, this is one where the coaches just said, you know, I am tired of seeing busts in the secondary. I'm tired of guys not following their assignments. I don't want to see sloppy play. I don't care what the score is. Coach, it feels like to me they said, call timeout and get everybody up here.
Well, they certainly got Javon Harris's attention. They called him off the field. Brett Venables has worked really hard all week on the wheel routes. And again, for the second time tonight for a big play, they got the back on a wheel.
Coach Venables, who started his coaching career as a graduate assistant at Kansas State. First down and 10 at the 26. Kinney hands it off. Trey Watts. Watts stopped by Alexander as well as Tony Jefferson.
Trey Watts has had tough going tonight running the football. His father, and you see Tony Jefferson wearing number 1? That was his dad's number here at Oklahoma, Julius Caesar Watts. And he had a lot more running room when he was running the wishbone for the Sooners.
2nd and 8 at the 24. Kinney rolling out, and he'll get out of bounds about a yard in front of the line of scrimmage. Corey Nelson there to chase him out of bounds.
The intensity level of the Oklahoma coaches does not abate. They are up huge in this ball game, and all they're screaming about is, how is that not a hold? Our guy couldn't get there to make the tackle.
Corey Nelson starting for Travis Lewis, who broke a bone in his foot on the first day of contact drills for Oklahoma. And a wonderful player, out 8 weeks, incomplete, intended for Jordan James.
And you know, Travis Lewis has been trying to tell everyone, don't rule me out for Florida State in 2 weeks. Now, I'm not sure the doctor concurs, but Travis is, and everyone has talked about how, as an All-American player, he has not checked out on the team during his injury. He's still in every meeting. He's still on the field during practices, still coaching guys up, still fully involved and engaged, so that when his time comes to check back into the lineup, he feels like he'll be up to snuff.
Tulsa going for it on 4th down and 8. Kinney over the middle. Can they get there? Trey Watts dives. Touchdown. 24 yards. Great extra effort by Trey Watts.
Look at that. Now watch. Makes him miss. Fleming with the tackle, Colvin with the tackle, and as you pointed out, Gus, the extra effort to get the ball to the goal line. Somewhere. Daddy's proud. Doing it to his old team. The sun also rises.
Kevin Fitzpatrick in to attempt the extra point, and it's good. Tulsa from Trey Watts. Putting some points on the board, 47-14. Welcome back as Trey Watts runs for 23 yards and gets into the end zone, part of a 5-play, 70-yard drive. Covering 1:14, and next weekend college football Saturday begins with Iowa versus Iowa State on FSN, followed by number 13 Virginia Tech taking on ECU. On the FX Game of the Week, see Nevada against number 3 Oregon, and in the nightcap on FSN, UTEP faces SMU. Our coverage of college football Saturday, presented by Russell Athletic, begins next weekend at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, and HD only on FSN.
Pretty good games. Iowa State for the Cy Hawk Trophy. They tried to introduce a new trophy, and everyone hated it. Even the governor weighed in and hated it.
Did he really?
So they said, okay, we'll retool it. We'll send the old one out there. And Virginia Tech just absolutely hammered Appalachian State today. New quarterback Logan Thomas breaking in impressively.
From the goal line. And this is Trey Franks. And he's wrapped up at the 29-yard line. And now a new quarterback coming into the game for the Oklahoma Sooners. Drew Allen, sophomore from San Antonio. And when we talked to Bob Stoops yesterday at the Oklahoma training facility, he said that the difference between Landry Jones and Drew Allen is, with Drew Allen, you're going to see a guy that's a little bit more mobile with his feet.
And they'll use that to his advantage. But the other part they also said is that whatever playbook we give Landry Jones, we can usually pretty much do the same thing with Drew Allen. So in a pinch, if he's in a tight game, you don't have to dumb down the playbook for him. He can probably pretty much execute it. Whether he executes it as well or not is going to be the question. He starts to get experience.
Roy Finch running the football. Sean Jackson with the tackle. So Drew Allen, is he the next guy if Landry Jones? We asked offensive co-coordinator Josh Heupel that question, is Drew Allen the next guy? And his response was very interesting.
He said, what are you trying to do, run my guy out? Because Landry Jones is just a junior. He said, we'll talk about that when it's time. Until then, we've got Landry Jones. Let's not even talk about this. Josh Heupel, the one closest to you on the left side of your screen. He didn't even want to discuss it, did he?
No, sir-ree, Bob.
But I know this, if it came down to a Drew Allen and Blake Bell in a fair fight for that job, would be a fun one to watch. Those are two good-looking kids, strapping lads, as they say, who can fling it.
Blake Bell, a redshirt freshman. That ball caught underneath Franks. And Trey Franks has had a very solid game tonight for the Oklahoma squad. He's managed to make some very nice catches.
Kenny Stills, serving the one-game suspension, should be back for the Florida State game, which just adds another weapon to the arsenal of the already high-powered Oklahoma offense.
Frank, 7 catches, 74 yards. Far side, that one picked up off the ground. Nice catch by Camille Jackson. And here's a freshman from Arlington, Texas, that they're very high on and feel he has a very bright future with this Oklahoma team.
Standing next to Bob Stoops at practice when we went out and watched them guys, and Camille Jackson went by, and I went, oh my goodness, who is that? And he said, oh, I love this kid. He said he doesn't drop the thing. And of course the ball came his way, dropped the football. He said, well, before you got here, he didn't drop the thing.
That's right, it was your fault, Charles. First down and 10 to the 41, 17-yard gain on the last play. Drew Allen handing the ball off. And this time it's Jonathan Miller running, sophomore from Garland, Texas. So we have seen Dominique Whaley, Roy Finch, Brennan Clay, Jonathan Miller, Trey Millard all run the football. We have not seen Brandon Williams yet. The freshman from Brookshire, Texas.
So the red shirt hasn't come off of him yet. I don't expect that to last all year long, though.
Far side, oh! Almost picked off Joe Ratliff. And he wishes that he had that one back, for sure.
Because he would still be running, wouldn't he? Do a little Forrest Gump. Catch it. Go.
Take off.
See, and what happens usually on those types of plays? You don't make the play, they come right back at it.
Third down, 10 to the 41. And Franks had a step. Drew Allen unable to put it on him.
Had a nice matchup, too, because he was running without Alan Dock, who was a linebacker, and he'd beaten him into the seam. They were just unable to connect. And look at him going right to the headset to get a little coaching, get a little counseling from upstairs. They'll ask him what he saw. They'll tell him what they saw. and then they'll go over it again in film study. Instant coaching, instant feedback, helping those muscles fire as they continue on.
So Tressway will punt it away from the 45. Marco Nelson back deep. And it's fair caught at the 10. 7:41 to play in the fourth quarter. Oklahoma with a 47-14 lead over Tulsa. The FX Game of the Week is presented by Russell Athletic, who reminds you that together we are. And brought to you in part by Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper is giving away $1 million in tuition. Go to drpepper.com for details. So Tulsa takes over at their own 11-yard line, first down and 10. And here is Jatarian Douglas running right. Nice running, and he gets to the 20, maybe the 21-yard line. Aaron Colvin with the tackle. And I think at this particular point in the broadcast, Charles, we need to talk about something, a very important issue that's taking place in college football, which is conference realignment. We don't want to take sides, but we do want to have a chance to inform our listeners and viewers of what's been taking place and what potentially could take place with a team like Oklahoma in the Big 12 Conference with the exodus of another a conference team in Texas A&M.
Texas A&M has told the conference that they intend to be out by summer of 2012, I believe it is. And so with that, the questions flare up again, the viability of Big 12 going forward. I know a lot of people would like to keep it together. There's already been talk about teams coming in to fill those gaps.
And here's Kiaris Garrett, a freshman from Dangerfield, Texas, with the reception.
But Oklahoma is the belle of the ball now. Okay, everybody looks at Texas with the Longhorn Network. How would that work about them making a move somewhere else? That has to play into the thinking. But Oklahoma, the national program, the championships, the great play, where do they go? Do they stay or not? So we'll see what happens. The president has already said, we'll let you know within 3 weeks what we intend to do.
All right, second down at 6. That ball caught in the flats by Genesis Cole.
And when you look at Tulsa's roster, and you know, I know you were doing it, Gus, and Coach Brew too, we were looking at our notes. Have you noticed how many position switches we've seen with Tulsa's players? Guys who were safeties are now receivers. Guys who were receivers were now safeties. Trying to mix and match athletes to balance up things on both sides of the football and put them in the best position to make plays. Genesis Cole was a big-time safety coming out of high school, now a receiver here at Tulsa.
Third down and 2. And that will be a first down now for Tulsa. Kinney remaining in the game. And he has not had his best game. However, you love his heart and his competitiveness, staying in from the very beginning to the very end, even when things aren't going well.
And his team sees that, and that allows them to stay in the fight also. And they're going to need every bit of that fight with that schedule we outlined earlier. Boise State jumping on Georgia tonight. They are Boise State. Get used to it, folks. They're a power. I don't care where you put them. They're a team that can play with anyone when you put them on the field. And they still have to play Oklahoma State, who's a preseason top 10 team.
Pretty nice receiver in Stillwater.
Ooh, some young man named Blackman. And how about the guy who pitches it to him, Brandon Whedon? It's a pretty good pitch and catch combination. Whedon, a former pitcher in the Yankees organization.
Kenny rolling out of the pocket, and he'll just duck out of bounds at the 40-yard line. Great pursuit by King. Clock stops, under 5 minutes to go. Here in the fourth quarter, Coach Blankenship, not the debut I'm sure he would have wanted. You know, he spent 4 years as an assistant coach here at his alma mater prior to taking over the head coaching duties this season. And he's dealt with controversy. His team has dealt with adversity, losing Damaris Johnson this week. But rest assured, they are going to have a good year.
Remember, they finished last year at a 7-game winning streak.
Kinney escaping, throws on the run, out of bounds.
Gus, on that play, everything you've said about G.J. Kinney was encapsulated tonight. Don't you feel?
Yes.
I mean, you talked about his competitiveness. You talked about his heart and his desire. You talk about his ability to try and make something out of nothing. Look at that. Missed a sack there. King unable to bring him down, number 90. Look at that. He's got him. Even has a hand on the ball, and Kenny wrestles it away, gets past him, and dumps the ball so that there's no sack. I really like that young man. The numbers aren't going to be great for him tonight, but he's the type of guy that can really spark Tulsa if they can get through the first month of their season.
Roy Finch back deep for OU, and he has it at the 20-yard line. 39-yard punt. Here is the Sprint Unlimited update, and we've got to go to Dominique Whaley, the walk-on, the transfer from Langston. 4 touchdowns. First time in the history of Oklahoma football that a walk-on has scored 4 touchdowns in a football game.
And I love the fact that he got 3 short yardage bursts and then was able to show everything on the last run where he could stretch it out a little bit and tell everyone he could play.
Whaley, 18 carries, 131 yards, 4 touchdowns. Broyles, 14 catches, 158 and a touchdown. And Landry Jones, so smooth, 35 of 47, 375. First and 10 at the 20-yard line for OU. And this is Jonathan Miller running it over the right side.
You know, I do a Heisman watch for FoxSports.com. I'm just telling you now, when I do my next one,
you got to put Dominique Whaley.
Dominique Whaley will be mentioned in my column. Now, where I put him remains to be seen because I have to check out all the other tapes. But I will tell you this, he is going to be mentioned in my next Heisman Watch column.
Well, stranger things have happened with the boy.
I mean, I think he deserves it. I mean, the story and then the production coupled with it deserves mention.
Second down and 8 at the 22, Miller. And Alan Dock comes up with the tackle.
You notice they still don't huddle, but the tempo has slowed down for Oklahoma. You know, they don't have to play the fastball now, but they're still getting snaps for their backups. Guys getting some work, and it's a good thing for these guys at OU. You never know when you have to step up and end up having to go into a game and play.
Third down and 3 at the 27. Drew Allen in at quarterback for Landry Jones, who's on the sideline now. Fires it outside. Miller with the grab. And Miller will gain 11 yards on the play. Jonathan Miller. Our first and 10 line is brought to you by Russell Athletic. 240 and counting. So up next for Tulsa, they will take on Tulane next Saturday at Tulane. Rolling out of the pocket, Rattery with the reception. Drew Allen throwing on the run, and then followed for Tulsa after the Tulane game, and then it's Oklahoma State at home, and then they travel to Boise on the 24th to take on Boise State, and from that point on they will get into their Conference USA schedule with North Texas, UAB, Rice, SMU, and UCF.
Not easy. UCF is the preseason power on one side of the bracket in Conference USA. Houston, preseason pick on the other side.
Miller running, and Miller.
And Gus, you said Tulane next week, correct, for Tulsa?
Yes.
Nice little story for that one. The punters, as you outlined earlier, tonight, Cole Way for Tulsa and Tress Way for Oklahoma, brothers, very close. Oklahoma does have a game next week. So Tress Way is going to drive down to New Orleans to watch his brother punt in the ball game there. Pretty neat deal for the brothers.
No doubt about it. First down and 10 at the 48-yard line for OU. Roy Finch in motion. They hand it off to Miller. And Miller bottled up and taken down about a yard in front of the line of scrimmage. So as you mentioned, for Oklahoma, they have next week off, and then they will travel to Tallahassee to take on Florida State. on September 24th. Sooners return home to take on Missouri. That game will be on FX. So, Charles, we will be doing that game. Remember, Missouri, one of 2 teams to defeat the Sooners a year ago, along with Texas A&M.
Remember, Oklahoma had just descended to #1 last year when they went to Columbia to play Missouri and lost that ranking the first week out.
2nd down and 9. Far side, near side, out of bounds. That one's sailing, intended for James Winchester. He's the snapper, folks. He is their long snapper, but some of the defenders feel that he's one of the best receivers on the squad.
And so does his coach, Jay Norvell, and they've been pushing Coach Bob Stoops to give him a chance. And really, it didn't take much convincing for Coach Stoops. Remember how his eyes lit up talking about him in our meeting and saying, you know, I know everybody's saying if something happens to him, it's not a great move by me as a coach, but the kid loves to play. I let him run around on scout team and make plays, and he makes us better. Hey, if something happens, then so be it. I can't take away that joy for playing from a kid like that.
His nickname is the Rifleman. And the handoff. Jonathan Miller running. 27 seconds remaining. Well, partner, our first game at Fox, FX, college football. Hopefully it'll be the first of many. I enjoyed working with you.
I enjoyed it. And Coach Brew, it was a blast. Let's do it again.
For Oklahoma, 663 yards in total offense, including 4 touchdowns by walk-on Dominique Whaley. And the #1 Sooners defeat Tulsa 47-14. For Charles Davis, Tim Brewster, and our entire crew, I'm Gus Johnson, saying so long from Norman, Oklahoma. Our final, Oklahoma 47, Tulsa 14. We'll send you to Kevin Frazier and Marcus Allen in the studio for the post-game show after these commercial messages.